Hi everyone watching at home, and welcome to a new campaign on the channel. I'm your host, Cole Wulfrun, and these are my lovely players. And we're going to be embarking on a new adventure, the Gleaming Wildfire in the Realms of Alovar. You can see this wonderful overlay we have here. Everything on it was made by our favorite little elf fairy, Cindy, playing Amaryllis. They made all of this, so props to them. And before we get started, we're going to do the thing that every D&D campaign does at the very beginning, and I'm going to call on each of you and make you talk about yourselves for a minute. Who you are, what your character is, brief summaries, and obviously don't reveal things. I have to say that because I had a campaign once, a one-shot, where a player literally just plays like, oh yeah, and his backstory is, and I was like, shh. But, and where they can find you on the social medias and stuffs. Alright, so first, we'll just go from who I see on screen. Jake!
Hi, my name is Jake, or Jacob, your choice. Jacob Oland on pretty much all of the socials. I will be playing Ramses Argos, a half-orc paladin, dragon rider of the kingdom. I've already forgotten how to pronounce it, Cole.
El Halon.
El Halon. We'll fix that in post.
No, we won't. Do I ever fix anything in post? No.
Never.
I just let the things happen. All right. Pyrea.
Hey everybody, I'm Pyrea. You can find me on socials as Pyrea. I will obviously be playing the tiefling here, and she goes by Thea.
All right, and she's also from the Kingdom of El Halon, but...
Yes, which is also not how I was pronouncing it either.
It's okay.
I'm glad we're saying these things out loud.
You guys had only seen them in written form, it's fine. Next, Carrie.
Hello. Wait, am I unmuted?
No, you're good. We can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, we'll fix that in post. Hi, I'm Carrie. Also Oathbreaker Carrie or Carrie on social media. I'm playing Krios Halakir, who's a Wood Elf sorcerer from the Kingdom of Silveron and the Grand Advisor to the King. Happy to be here.
Speaking of the King, Cindy.
Hello, I'm Cindy. Cindy Salem on most social media, and yeah, I've been enabled to play my best High Elf King life. King Amaryllis Seraphinius, King of Silveron, and these wings are not functional, but they're aesthetic, and Cole also enabled me with that, so here we go.
Yeah, Cindy messaged me, so can I have wings if they're just aesthetic? And I was like, sure, why not?
They're vestigial wings.
They don't do much, but they're there. All right, Val, the beautiful mustache.
Hello, I'm Val, or Val the Fantascapist on all the socials. I'm going to be playing Varvara Ragden, who is a dwarf barbarian, a princess of the Dwarven Kingdom of Vorgos.
Alright, and last but certainly not least, Soft Goblin Girl.
Hello, my name is Jacqueline Hyde, or Soft Goblin Girl with two R's, which is basically how you can find me on any of the social media that matters to me in any real way. I am playing Cyrillus Seraphinius. She is the Minister of Culture in the Empire of Harakos. So, it's gonna be exciting.
Alrighty, and for a little rundown for backstory for all of you, about a couple months ago in this continent of Telonis, a horde of draconic creatures being led by ancient dragons descended upon the continent and started trying to kill or basically take over everywhere they can. They've conquered the entire north. And at this point, all of the nations who are constantly warring amongst each other have decided to maybe put aside their differences to unify against this draconic threat. And that's where the story will pick up, is with our players all being called from different parts of the continent to the Empire of Harakos to meet with their emperor. and try to find some kind of middle ground, because things are happening, and they're not necessarily the best things that are happening. So what we're going to start with is actually a dear old sweet Cyrillus. You wake up in the morning of when the conclave is going to happen, and you're already getting dressed, getting ready, and your door just opens, and Roxy's, I suppose that will do. Hello, sweet sister. Are you prepared to meet with the delegates from the other nations?
As ready as I'll ever be, I suppose.
Quick change of plans. You will not be greeting the entourage from Silvaran and Holgoth. You will be greeting the Elhalon nobles. I will be greeting the Silvaran nobles.
Seeing as how it is a conclave, will they not all be going through the same entrance?
No, the Elhalons have decided to teleport. The portal should be opening in the cathedral any minute now. I will be going to greet the Wood Elves, and apparently a dwarf, and 2 Draconic beings. He kind of grumbles when he says that. So, Uroth, and at this point a large Kolsar, which is basically Goliath, use storm powers. Cyrillus' bodyguard, just make sure that she goes there and returns to the Emperor's meeting room and nowhere else. Understood? Just nods. Right. I'll see you in about an hour, sweet sister, and do your best to make the half-orcs feel welcome.
You betcha.
Oh, and keep your bird out of the way. And he just turns and slams the door behind him.
Keep your bird out of the way. My name is Cyrillus, and I have a stick up my ass all the time.
Uroth just screams, "My lady, we should probably..." Just points at the door.
Yes, let's go, I suppose. Amanda!
Your phoenix just poofs into existence on your shoulder, and she's like, I was dreaming about a really, really handsome griffin. Why must you interrupt the best dreams?
It is the way of the universe. Do you know how many dreams you interrupted as a hatchling? Now we're even.
Wait, elves dream? What do you have to dream? What do you have to drink about money and taxes and... Oh well. Uroth just slowly opens the door for you and just kind of waits. And while we're at it, would you mind describing Cyrillus for our fellow players and audience?
So Cyrillus is short and slim, a super lithe build. She's got white curly hair, and she predominantly has only been dressing in black for the last 90 years. However, as a favor to her older brother, she is wearing gray and her house's colors, which are green and blue. She's got fiery blue eyes, as fire is the hottest part of fire burns blue. And with high cheekbones and kind of a button nose that she kind of hates, but it's fine.
Oh, right. So as you and Uroth leave, we're going to pan over to the trio walking towards the front gate of Amaryllis, Krios, with their general, a large, about 6.5 foot tall Draconic man. And he's just fingers there, he's like, my king, is this the big house?
Looks just as I remember it.
It's a lot bigger than your house.
Yes, it is.
Well, I guess we live in trees, so, I mean, So with that, I'm just going to have you do this now. Amaryllis, would you describe yourself? And then right after, Krios can describe himself.
Yeah, so he's a 6-foot high elf with long white blonde hair, pointed ears, violet eyes, has black kind of dragonfly wings that are aesthetic, I know, but anyways. And mostly dresses in like black and leathers with hints of green, and always wears his big ol' woodsy crown. Yeah. Walks with arrogance, you know. As a king. Of kingship.
All right, and standing next to Amaryllis is...
Yeah, Krios. So Krios is probably about like 5'8", 5'9", I think, put in the description. Shameless self-insert, but taller than me. But he has long black locks that he wears, very similar to how I'm wearing my hair. Some to accentuate the face and some in a bun in the back. He wears his family colors. He has a green shirt, a black long vest over it with like a red scabbard. It has a gray cloak, but I'm not wearing that. It's way too hot. And he kind of glides when he walks. He is noble born, not arrogant, but carries himself in a, we'll say, high elven way.
But despite the fact that Krios is a wood elf. And the third person traveling with them is Tyros, the general of the Savaran army. He's about 7'2", humanoid body, but with a draconic tail and horns. Human-like face, pointed ears, red scales scattered throughout his body, and a sword bigger than Amaryllis on his back, and just looking really confused as to why there's no trees. He's like, oh, this is... I almost went full grog there for a second. I almost did the grog voice. Like, I guess it'll be easier not to burn everything down here. For Krios, I mean. Too many fire spells.
Good thing I have these ice spells then.
Oh, but those are so cold. And as you guys get closer to the gate, you see a small dwarven woman yelling at the guards with another Draken is what they're called, Draconic man, leaning against a pillar, waiting for her to stop yelling. And if you would introduce Varvara.
Varvara is a tiny dwarven creature. She has long, luscious, wavy blue hair that she dyes herself because that's how she likes to express herself. And of course she has armor with some blue pieces as well to go with all that, her blue eyes, her blue hair, blue armor, everything. Some iconic furs for the barbarian. And accompanied with her is a battle cat that's not here right now, but if I bring up an armor piece, you guys can pretend like he's there. His name is Trus. And he usually sits right here on Varvara's shoulder and just chills around. And he's usually a quite nice little boy, unless you threaten Varvara, then he might claw you a little bit, just like he did in the past. Varvara. That's why she has a scar. And also she has a beard. Unfortunately, the beard's not here today, but just imagine a long, luscious beard that has a couple braids and some strands of blue. Otherwise, it's just brown.
Okay, and standing next to Varvara, leaning against the wall as she's yelling at these guards for not letting her in, is about 5'11", 6 foot tall Draken with gold scales sprinkled throughout his body. Long sword at his hip, shield on his back, looking like he's nursing a hangover, and he's like, my lady, if you could please stop shouting. You made me drink that vodka, and now.
Grigor, such weak stomach you have.
What was in... I don't know what was in that vodka, my lady, but...
Just a regular dwarven vodka, my friend. You'll get used to it.
Perhaps. And as you guys approach Varvara, you turn and you see your friend walking up to you as Krios is approaching.
Alright, so Varvara will go like, Krios! way, my friend! I've missed you so much! When I was told I was gonna meet some important people, I did not know I would be meeting you here. And hold on, wait. I recognize those long hair everywhere. Amaryllis. Long time no see. Glad you're doing well.
Hi, princess. Looks like you're lively as ever.
You know it.
Krios is gonna have like the biggest smile on his face after being so cold and stone-faced on the way there and just say, Bavara, my dear friend, you are a light on these dark days. How are you?
I've been well. Better some days, I guess. My father sent me here. You know, as usual, trying to get rid of me, but so glad to see you here. And she's gonna approach Krios and give him the biggest hug and like pat him on his back like really hard.
Tyros is gonna nudge Amaryllis, like just elbow nudge way harder than he should, and be like, "How did he do that? How did he do that? He made Krios smile." And just gonna lean out. You know how to smile? Point to Krios.
Krios is gonna look back and then stop smiling.
Asshole. He's just gonna lean back. At that moment, the gates open as the guards step to attention, and you see an elf walk forward with about shoulder-length silver blonde hair, bright green eyes, wearing green and blue robes with like a sash over his shoulder, like a hat or like a half cape sash around his waist, wearing the pin of the Prime Minister of the Empire, and he's just gonna go, "Hello, brother. It's been what? How many years? I'm so bad with numbers.
100.
Right. 100 years since you left. Our parents mysteriously died. Your son mysteriously got pitched. Anyway, we can catch up later, my friend. Welcome to the Empire of Arrakis. I am your... I'll be escorting you to the meeting chambers, Your Majesty." And he, kind of sarcastically bows to you. And he's like, "And I see you brought the lummox and the smartass," as he looks at Krios. "Welcome. I'm sure your skills at cooling off drinks will be very helpful here, Krios." He goes, Lady Vavara. And he actually bows. Pleasure to see you again, Your Highness. It's been too long."
No need to bow to me. And she's gonna come over and try to do the handshake where she pats his shoulder as well.
"Oh, right. Forgot you were so strong."
Of course, these muscles, they don't come from nowhere. Training very hard. Don't forget.
Krios will look to Amaryllis and just say, Your Grace, I didn't know your family was so hospitable.
Indeed, Virillis.
Well, it
Did
has
not
been...
expect to see you here.
Well, I am the Prime Minister now.
Indeed.
So,
How kind of you not to send a letter and check in all this time.
you know, the funny thing about letters is they do work both ways, Big Brother. And I've not heard a peep from you in 98 years and 344 days.
I find that hard to believe.
Since you sent me the letter telling me about your son's passing. And instead
I've
of
sent many letters.
Not that I've seen. But, anyways, we're not here to bring up family squabbles just yet. We're here to deal with this Draconic menace. And you are being a place of honor next to the Emperor at the meeting room. And your cohorts will join us as well. Lady Vavara, Lord Grigori, let's enter inside if we will. And he's just going to lead you all in. And then we're going to pan to a portal opening in front of you, Cyrillus, in a cathedral, as 3 half-orcs and a tiefling walk through. 2 of the half-orcs very, very large. One of them not quite as large. And you can kind of tell by these 6 distinct scars embracing the claws of a dragon on one of their faces that is the High Prince, the Crown Prince. And they just walk out and they just look down. And before we get into the conversing, Ramses and Thea, whoever wants to go first describing their character.
I'll do it, because after I introduce my character, I'm going to lose my horns for the rest of the session. Just due to technical difficulties. Out of the portal, you're going to see about 5'4"-ish tiefling. Pretty slender, purple skin, green eyes, and these curled horns. She's wearing fairly simple traveling clothes, all black and purple, just kind of basic, so to speak. And she's just kind of trying to keep up with the half-orcs that are taller than her, but she seems to keep in stride fairly easily. And now I'm going to lose my horns.
But Ramses.
Standing, I think, somewhat behind and to the side. Not one of the central people walking. One of the shorter half orc, who I think is only for a half orc, he's only about 6 feet tall. He's broad shouldered, but not super bulky. But he does wear full plate, and he has this cloak that like wraps almost like a mantle around his shoulders, with a hood that's currently pulled off, and it kind of splits into 2 long tails behind him. He has a large round shield on his back, along with a sheathed greatsword, and he is carrying almost like a walking, like a walking stick, a spear of pretty decent craftsmanship. He has fairly pale green skin, almost bordering on a more like fair complexion, but he has just full black eyes, and kind of similar to in more ways than one to Kraus, almost like my own hair. He's got the shaved on the sides, pulled back into a series of like loose braids that are kind of all tied together, that fall, I think, about like 1.5 feet behind his head, and a fairly close cropped beard. This is my self-insert character.
Just with tusks.
Just with tusks. And it looks like the beard at one point, as well as the sides of the hair on the sides of the head, were like very well groomed, very well maintained. But you can see it looks like he hasn't done like a shave and a haircut in probably a couple weeks. And he looks like stone-faced. He looks actively angry right now. But the color, and he also wears the colors of his liege. The cloak and kind of the cloth parts of his outfit are red, and then his plate armor, which looks very nice, has a gold trim on it.
And he's a green-skinned half-orc, correct?
Yes, yeah,
cool.
fairly pale, and his hair is almost like an auburn brownish, more kind of fair colored hair. Oh, and he also wears these like tall boots that have like a 2-inch heel on them.
Okay.
So they tippy tap as you walk.
A little bit, but they have like pretty like supple soles on them, so they're not made to tippy tap, but they they do a little bit.
To round out this entourage approaching you, Cyrillus, are 2 half-orcs. One with green skin, one with like darker green skin, one with like light gray skin. The gray-skinned orc has claws across his face. He's fairly lithe, not really bulky, he's got a scimitar at his hip and a staff on his back. And you know this to be the head, the crown prince, as I said, of House Varlon, Korgal. And accompanying him, Corgal.
Thank you.
And accompanying him, and he's about a little bit taller than Ramses, but not much, like maybe 6'1", 6'2". He's a little shorter. Accompanying him is his younger brother, the 6'9" half-orc with golden plate armor, with a massive greatsword on his back, and then a great axe, what would be a great axe for other people, on his hip. This is the second-born prince, Radamix, who is the shield of his older brother. And he just doesn't say much, just looks, and then the older brother just... I assume you are Lady Cyrillus, then.
Welcome. Yes. I'm going to be taking you to your meeting rooms.
A pleasure. I am... Oh, my apologies.
We look forward to the parley.
I am High Crown Prince Korgel of Kingdom of Valhallon. This is my little brother Ratamix. This is Ramses. And this,
bow deeply.
and this is... And he looks at her for a second. Thea. She's a vassal of ours.
I see. Welcome. And she, specifically turns to Thea, who is her own height, and makes eye contact, and says, welcome.
Very nice to be here. Haven't, been out much. As she glances at the princess briefly, and then back.
And so, at this point, Cyrillus, do you begin leading them back towards the parlor for the meeting?
Yeah. He's like, here, we're doing the job.
As you start walking, Korgel taps Radamix, and Radamix kind of puts a hand on Ramsey's back, leans in and goes, "Remember, don't kill him until the right time."
I know my place here, my lord. I will maintain absolute proper conduct and decorum. You have nothing to worry about from me.
Good lad. Pats you on the shoulder. I should mention that the half-orc sons are not young. They're, older, late 30s, early 40s. So, good lad.
I forgot to say, Ramses is also, mid-30s.
Yeah. He's just gonna... But just know, if I need your sword, you will. Come when called.
At your command, my lord.
Just kind of pats you. They keep walking. But yeah, Thea, what you have there?
As Thea is walking with Cyrillus, is it Cyrilla or Cyrilla?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Cyrillus.
Cyrillus, there we go. The princes are gonna hear a little feel a little spark in their brain as they hear Thea's voice echo in their ears briefly. And she's gonna go, "What an interesting change of plans. I will have to inform the queen when we return. I'm sure she'll be interested to hear what's going on already over tea." As she's walking with the princess.
Radamix doesn't respond. You feel him kind of, but then Korgal chimes in and goes, "Well, if you had wanted to, you could have been coming as my betrothed, but sadly that ship has sailed, so now a vassal it is. And you'll keep my mother out of this, for now. You'll report back to her at your designated times. Other than that, you play your role, girl."
Awesome. We hate it already. There's not gonna be a little bit. There's not gonna be a response.
Yeah,
no, it's great. I love it. There's not a response, but Thea will actually get a little closer to the princess and start just chatting her ear off slightly, and she's gonna go, "I've never seen a kingdom so what does the area look like? Is it bright? Is it..."
It's very bright. It is setting at the bottom of a mountain range, this capital city of Elmerantine. It is pretty much the walls are almost completely silver. And there's a lot of different sculptures of wolves throughout the places. That is the national icon, is a wolf. And there is just... everything here looks pristine and perfect. To a almost uncomfortable degree to look at.
Metallic.
Yeah, everything looks... There's not a bit of... there's no imperfections in anything that you can see. And it's a little... If you don't really pay attention to it, it's whatever, but knowing Thea, she's probably paying a lot of attention, and it's a little unnerving how everything is in its proper place all the time.
when she first turns, Cyrillus is going to just whistle to Ananda, which is basically just like, hello, listen to
Okay.
everything that I can't hear.
I love it. I love it so much. I've never seen anything so
She's a menace.
clean. Haven't been out of the kingdom.
We
Let's
here in
see.
Harakas have valued a pristine perfection in ourselves, in our cities, as reflected in the land.
Wonderful. It's so pretty. I'm very
Thank you.
excited. Not sure how I got so lucky. Not sure why the queen chose me to come along, but I'll try and do my best. As she, keeps walking forward and ignoring the princess.
Cyrillus is like, I'm sure you'll do lovely. I'm sure it will be a great time.
So,
If I can,
Mhm.
as we're walking forward, I think Ramses will sort of step up to. Oh God, I'm already forgetting everybody's character names. Farah, what's your character's name?
Thea.
I forgot. Thea. Oh my God, it was
It's-
2 syllables.
it's session 1. It's fine.
I know. I joined this campaign 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
We'll kind of like quicken step to match with Thea, and just kind of quietly say under his breath, and just say, kind of motioning to the two brothers, and just be like, "Don't mind them, I suppose. I am at your command as well."
Oh, well, that's very nice of you. To be kind of weird, shouldn't you be watching over the princes? I can figure it out on my own. I'm used to it.
Good to have friends in strange places.
I suppose so.
Also, they'd be very foolish to try anything immediately after we left the portal. It would be a very unwise choice.
Of course it would be. It would be below their station as well. The Queen trusts them. As should we.
Well, sometimes you cannot trust people to act as their station would dictate. And then he'll kind of still. I think if you've met Ramses before, he is not usually like this. And then he'll kind of fall back in step.
Everybody's so tense. It's lovely.
And as you guys are approaching, you see 2 men standing like at the door to the audience chamber, and they walk in. They both have about shoulder length, like almost bluish black hair. Both have like bird-like wings. They have tucked. A couple of ASMR wearing blue and silver, and they have a sigil you recognize immediately. Specifically, you, Ramses. House Burgley's crest is on their chest plate, and as Cyrillus, as you walk up, the younger of the two, he just takes your hand for a second and goes, "Ah, Lady Cyrillus," and he like kind of bows and goes, "I don't know if you remember me. It's Marcus. It's been a while."
Oh yes, Marcus. I'm sure. How have you been?
You know, just taps the spear, killing the odd dragon or two. Just enjoying the...
Riveting, I'm sure. And then she just slightly pulls her hand away and then continues on. Like, just, yeah.
You do...
Full story, bro.
You do notice that his dad just kind of baps him on the back of the head, like, you idiot. And as you're walking, Marcus makes no E to Ramses, but the older gentleman, gray hair, scar over his eye, he notices you immediately and just kind of smirks. This is Lord Christoph Burgleys, head of the imperial military. And he just kind of bows his head. Lord Argos.
Lord Burgleys, it is such a pleasant surprise to see both you and your son here.
Oh, well, when the Emperor calls for a meeting, we attend. as leaders of the military. Although I'm surprised to see you, well, I'm sure the walk was a little bit more challenging than what you're used to for travel.
Many of us are used to having to make our own way in the world, my lord.
But please enter, all of you. And he kind of like looks at you. He kind of pauses, his eyes on Thea as well, seeing a tiny little tiefling with these upwards. He goes, "You there? What's your name?"
I'm Thea. It's lovely to meet you. What
Thea-
was it? I apologize. I'm very, very bad with names.
Thea what?
Oh, I don't have a family name. I've always gone by Thea.
Cyrillus sees
Can you
this
get-
happen and doubles back. Kristoff,
Hush,
Kristoff, why are you being so rude? She's a guest of our friends, a vassal of theirs. She's been sent because her knowledge is important to the meeting.
Yes.
And
Oh,
she literally just scoops her out and just goes on in. Nope.
Amazing. I love her.
He continues to glare down Thea, and then he just kind of just shrugs, enters in after you guys, which at this point your two groups collide. And as you enter Sprills, you hear your brother just, "And how is my nephew?" "Oh, sorry, my mistake."
And she just freezes with Thea still on her arm and just like digs in her whole hand. I'm so sorry.
And across the way you see both your brothers sitting at the same table. Virilis did not mention that your oldest brother would be here. And Amaryllis, from across the room, you see your baby sister.
He would immediately get up and just walk away from Virilis to go see Cyrillus.
And she's going to like pull apart her hand. I'm so sorry.
Are you?
May I have a moment?
Yes. Are you well? Can I get you anything or help in some sort of way? That's why I'm here.
I appreciate you very much. Family is a complicated tapestry.
Oh,
And she just lets her go. And she walks away.
Theo will fall back a little bit with Ramses.
Cyrillus. It's hurrying after you wherever you're going.
Yeah. Like she's like going to meet him there and then just freezes and can't say anything and just like looks up at him.
Are you okay?
She takes a really deep breath. Because she knows everyone in the room is very possibly looking at them.
Oh, probably definitely. He's already felt the pressure the second he walked in.
It's been like they have no privacy in this moment, and she knows that. She opens her eyes, and she goes, "My world has been more shattered as of late. But I am well. And you?"
Cyrillus. I am far from... I never meant for your world to shatter. I know mine.
I know. We don't have time. Not right now.
Let us
Later.
bare our teeth and grit a smile as I sit next to
takes
your
his
brother, who's so lovely.
She takes his hands, and she... You've held my hands. You know what this feels like. She's got long nails, and she just digs in just a little. We'll be okay. We just have to get through this. We can do anything for a few hours. Later. And then she lets go of his hands and she like walks back to her assigned spot, which she knows because she knows Virilis will be on the other end of the table.
So Virilis is standing in the middle. It's a large round table, but with one big chair at the kind of in the center. And everyone facing that chair, and Virilis stands in front of that chair, and he just goes, "If you would all, your names are all inscribed on your seats, and basically seating order for the player characters, Thea and Ramses are sitting right next to the Burgleses. as well as the two princes as well, are sitting next to the Burgleeses. But Ramses, you see that the seat that's supposed to be for Prince Radamix, he goes, no, Ramses! And he's kind of like moves you to sit right next to Marcus. Please, take my seat, my friend.
Thank you, my lord.
He goes,
Gladly.
He goes, also I need to do this. And he pushes his brother away from Thea and sits in between them. And he just nudges her, you're welcome. And then all of the Silvarons are sitting next to each other. And Amaryllis is sitting in Virilis' normal seat. Because in the center, at Cyrillis' seat, Virilis is sitting right next to him. And Varvara is sitting right next to Krios. And then Grigor and Tyros sitting next to them, and Tyros just looks at Grigor. Hey, have all of your people just been really, really grumpy lately? Yes, they have. Is it a elf thing? Well, mine's a dwarf, so... At this moment, the two double doors open, and an elf walks in. Very tall, somewhat muscular elf, about shoulder-length golden hair, bright blue eyes. He walks in, walks up, sits on his throne, and he just... Hello, my name is Ilaros. I'm Emperor of Heracus. If you'd all please sit, we can begin discussing our two-pronged approach to this draconic threat. First and foremost, Ramses Argos, please stand. I offer my deepest apologies for the actions of my general and his son. I offer you this weapon in I know it cannot replace the life that was lost of your dragon, but I offer you this spear as recompense. And I trust that no altercations will come here. They certainly will not from the Burgleys, as I have made sure of it. And you have my deepest apologies for the loss of your comrade.
Ramses will walk up and kneel and accept the spear. Say, of course not, my lord. I would not dream of causing any disruption. In our kingdom it is distasteful to strike against one's allies in a time of war. Thank you for this.
Well, it is kind to know that your queen already considers us allies. Thank you.
Strange times make for strange bedfellows, my lord.
Indeed they do. And he kind of looks at Amaryllis for a second. He goes, please return to your seat. And on that note, Count Burgleys, if your son Marcus could have a word with me and Virilis when we are done here. Princess Vavara! Mean no disrespect, but I was under the impression that your brother or father would be joining us today.
Well, too bad you're getting me. Actually, you get the better one in the family. I've got the looks and I've got the comedy, so enjoy.
You certainly have one of those. We'll have to see about the other. He goes, but you're welcome, Lady Vavara, Your Highness.
Call me Vara. No need for semantics and stuff.
As you wish.
Ramses, for like the first time, Ramses cracks a smile.
Tyros from across the room. You did it again! How does she keep making the weird people smile?
I stopped smiling.
Oh.
Now I'm bit.
You missed it.
It's also funny because Tyros is like unequivocally the scariest looking person in the room, and he's just this massive idiot. But yes, well, that one, the Emperor. Well, that must be Tyros. Who else do we have here? Of course, Lady Cyrillis. How are you?
Well, and yourself, Majesty?
I am well. kind of holds on for a second, and then he just turns. And Your Majesty, King Amaryllis, welcome.
Thank you. Your Majesty?
I am pleased we can finally meet face to face after 100 years of... Well, you're aware you're the one who left.
I have my reasons.
I am sure, and thankfully your younger brother has proved a very capable prime minister in your absence.
Under her breath. No one can hear this. This is a professional bard. Underneath her breath, she just goes, absolutely not.
He just keeps looking around and goes, and Krios Halakir, the famed war hero, and Tyros Cullen. I hear you two make a formidable duo when facing off against dragons.
I like a fight. What can I say?
Speaking of people you like to fight, hello, brothers from El Halon. And at this point, Radamix is just staring daggers at Krios, which is kind of hilarious that they have a rivalry, because Krios, average-built guy, very fancy, and then Radamix is just this towering monstrosity, and he just glares and he just goes, Halakir.
Krios doesn't meet his glance and just looks at the Emperor.
Yes. So, the brothers Varlon, I assume your mother has a reason for not coming herself. The Korgol stands and goes, yes, your grace. She has many things to attend to in the capital. As you know, the leader of our dragon riding company had his mount killed by one of your men. So, take it in good faith that we're here in general. He sits back down. The Emperor's eyes land on Thea and he goes, and who might you be, young lady?
Oh, I'm called Thea. It's an honor to meet you, Emperor. Majesty. You'll have to forgive me. I'm here to assist the princes. I'm a little rusty on the court behavior.
Korgol puts his hand over Thea's face and said, she's no one of importance, your grace. Simply a vassal to carry our belongings and take note of everything that happens to send to our mother.
Slay.
I'm rolling deception and insight for both of these NPCs right now, and it's not going well for Prince Korgol. So he just goes, the Emperor stands and goes, first things first, thank you all for joining us. We all know why we're here. The Draconic threat, the 6 ancient dragons that have been ravaging the north. The Kolsar population has been all but destroyed. I am told that their royal family survived, but they're in hiding. And with the north destroyed, they'll be heading to all of us next. They have easy access to both El Halon and Harakas. And if we fall, then Horgoth and Silvaron will be next. I'm putting together 2 separate teams. One, to do more covert, targeted strikes, and one to be leading the main military force. Based on information provided, and also information we gleaned on our own, we are putting together little assigned teams and 2 leaders to lead each team. Lord Burgleys, if you will. Kristoff stands, dusts off his jacket, and just goes, right, well, I'll be leading our entire military, so I've handpicked a few of you to join me in my army if this coalition agrees to it. Tyros Cullen, Gregor, the twin, well, not exactly twin, the princes. You all will be joining my forces, if it is agreed upon by your lords and ladies. The rest of you, we think would be better at the more covert strikes. With co-leaders. And he sits down, and the Emperor stands and goes, Amaryllis and Virilus Seraphinius, I have come to a decision. I was trying to figure which one of you would be better for leading the covert unit, targeted strikes, and due to some very good points by Count Bergles, I don't think, Amaryllis, you're capable of doing it on your own, for one simple reason. A dragon-killing corps cannot have a leader who is afraid of dragons. Now, while I understand your fear, I do still think you're the best man for the job when it comes to every other aspect of it. But I need someone who's willing to send this group into places that might be dangerous. And that's where your brother comes in. He will point you at the targets, you will lead the team to the targets. We have a few lined up. But don't worry. Your sister Cyrillus will be joining you. Which, Cyrillus, for you, that's the first you've heard of that. If you all agree. Which I think, at this point, the dragons have caused enough damage to all of our kingdoms and all of this continent that we need to do something. Which I do need to know. Lord Ramses, are you capable of killing dragons despite your love for them?
Dragons, Your Highness, are much like people. There are good ones, there are bad ones. There are those you work with and those you have to put down. Makes no difference.
Considering who is leading this dragon menace, we once thought to be a good dragon, we'll need to judge a little differently. We've received intelligence that the 6 ancient dragons that are leading are not your typical, they're not flame dragons, frost dragons. Their leader is Rexus Goldscale, the dragon lord of radiant dragons. Holy dragons. Whether he's acting on his own, or at the behest of a god, we do not know. And that is also another reason why your team was picked. Because you're going to find out information as well. And there's no one better at talking their way out of a situation than Cyrillus Seraphinius and Krios Halakir. And then, of course, Ramses and Varvara are very good at hitting things very hardly, from what I understand. And I don't know much about you, Lady Thea. But
I'm good with potions and healing.
There you have it. But despite Prince Korgal, Prince Radimik spoke highly of you in a letter before you arrived, so... Does anyone have any objections, statements, arguments of any kind? Concerns?
I traveled this far because I was promised a possible solution to my son's petrification. No talk of leading a band of...
And you think that comes free, Amaryllis?
I don't expect it free, I just expect it.
You will receive your potion to heal your son. When we have completed enough tasks that we know that you're going to do what is the right thing for the world. And not just yourself.
All this time, all of you spread rumors and know of my son's petrification, and this is just now brought to light.
Understand this, Amaryllis. You may be a king, but in this court you are still technically a traitor who betrayed his country and fled. You vacated your station. So, you have 2 options. Aid and we aid you in healing your son and his wife, or leave, and Silvaron faces everyone else alone. Receive no aid from the dragons. Receive no aid the next time these two princes decide to raid your homeland.
He's like biting his tongue because he really just wants to do just that. But as he normally will do, he will look to his advisor, Krios, as it like, stop me before I say something, because I only care about my people.
Krios definitely understanding the tension in the room. Probably would have put like a hand on the shoulder of Amaryllis during the Emperor's words, and just like very softly, and not necessarily a whisper, but he's gonna be like, "At ease, Your Grace. At ease."
So, Amaryllis, we will help you when you help us. Understood?
Since I have your word.
From monarch to monarch, you have my word.
Very well then. It shall be done.
Good. And I was true to my word. You are not taking orders from your brother. You and he are partners. Do your best to work together, or I will take you both off, and I'll place the damn orcs in charge.
Krios is going to try and chime in to the Emperor's offer. He's going to say, understanding words have meaning and can hurt reputations, and I'll look at Amaryllis when he says that. How about we put this in writing? Perhaps something a little more concrete than words.
Cyrillus, draw up a contract, please.
At once. She literally just, bring out her little notebook.
Bless you, Krios.
And start writing out in legalese.
And Princess Varvara, if you aid in this coalition, your double dealing against your own people for the Wood Elves of Silvaron will be forgiven by me and your father.
My father doesn't know.
He's known the entire time, dear.
If he has known, he would have decapitated me at this point already. I don't believe you.
Your father's a lot smarter than that. He knows a tool and how to use it properly. And it worked out for the best, because now the Kingdom of Silvaron is stronger than it's ever been. And you.
Thanks to me.
You helped, exactly. But your treason will be forgiven. And for you, when he points at the Princess of Alovar, your constant raids of Silvaron have been problematic. Regardless of what King Amaryllis may or may not have done, you attacked unprovoked in the breaking a peace accord. You aid, and that will be forgiven as well, and we'll draw up a new peace accord. But should you break it again, and the entirety of the Heracus military will come crashing down on you. Am I understood? The two princes just kind of nod. Radamix, you can feel what... Ramses, you know Radamix fairly well, the bigger one, and you can tell he is very much gritting his teeth and not saying anything back. Korgel just goes, very much understood, Your Grace. My mother simply acted as she thought. Your mother engaged in a war of her own selfish gain. Now, as long as we all understand where we stand here, it's time for dinner. And he stands up and walks over, and he stops at Cyrillus and he goes, I do apologize for my behavior just now, my lady. I hope you don't think lesser of me for it.
And she looks at him and very quietly just whispers, you're going to have to do better than that.
Understood.
And goes back to writing up this contract.
He leans and he goes, If you would like a moment alone with your eldest brother later, let me know. And I will prepare...
I don't need your permission to have time with my family in my home.
One where there are no seeing eyes.
And he just nods.
Urov taps him on the chest and walks as food is brought out for all of you. Very elfy food. Lots of breads and vegetables and fruits. Not a single scrap of meat to be seen. And the drink is all wine and this new elven concoction, and we're going to have fun with this, that is quite strong, called tequila.
Oh no.
Amazing.
In my world, dwarves made vodka, elves made tequila.
No, but now as a person who has proudly lived in Arizona for most of their life, I desperately need to know, what kind of plant is this tequila made out of, and where can I find it in this universe?
I'll get back to you on that. I didn't have that plan. All I know
Willis is gonna get, make it for us as we're traveling, in every vessel. We're gonna take a drink. We think it's water.
So, and the Emperor kind of walks out, and Virilis stands up, and he just goes, "Well, that was interesting, brother. I'm sure we'll begin our plans on the morrow. I'll see you then. Sweet sister, please do not stay out too long. You know you'll need your rest."
Sounds like a plan.
And he leaves. And the rest of you are sat there with the two orcs and the Burgleys as they're eating, and Tyros is like, "Why is there no meat? Do you just have any cows that I can just eat?"
And Therilis just kind of stands. I thought we had talked to catering about making sure that there was meat for those of you who are omnivores. Hold, please. And then she just kind of scuttles out of the room, down to the kitchen.
Great.
Ramses, before you go, Ramses would kind of hold up a hand as he pulls a pack around and just pulls out a couple of big old ham hocks and just puts them on the
carry
brothers.
him around.
And just, I listen. I know this play. I know culture. And just puts them in front of the brothers and just goes, "I was instructed to plan ahead."
Tyros looks across the Draken, and he just kind of walks and goes, could I steal some of that, please?"
Ramses will just give him his. Ramses is fine with a vegetarian diet.
He just looks at it, he goes, You're a kind soul, and my second favorite person in this room now." He just walks away.
This seems an appropriate time for kind gestures.
Just walks. Grigor just eyeing a leaf, and he nudges Varvar, and he goes, "Have you ever eaten plants?"
No, Grigor. I don't eat grass. Do I look like a cat to you? No.
He pulls one of your rocks out of his pack, and goes, "I packed ahead for you, my lady."
Grigor, you are my favorite boy right now. I will take the stone and just munch on it.
So you guys watch as Varvar just bites into a rock?
Dwarves.
Which, for those of you who've been around dwarves, which is...
chewing and crunching.
Two of you have really been around dwarves. That's Krios and Amaryllis. Everyone else, that's different.
That's different.
And as everyone's
Convenience.
staring at her, she's just kind of she's pulling out a vodka bottle with some shot glasses, starts pouring it, takes one, then looks at everybody else, goes, "Hey, we're about to become very close friends. Do you want to take some dwarven vodka? It's very good." Grigor maybe does not want to take one. He's had a night. But you guys, you seem like you have some strong stomachs, especially you, Ramses. You got some You seem like you can handle your vodka.
You're muted.
Yes, I'm muted. What do you know? I appreciate it. I am not quite certain, though, that I am. I do not often drink, but I am more than willing to try.
The two half-orc brothers and the two dragon and the other Draken, Tyros, raises his hand immediately, and Grigor just goes...
Mm-mm.
So, round of vodka for everybody. Who all is partaking?
Krios is going to partake, and he's going to have a big smile on his face, and he's going to be looking at the orc princes. Because this isn't the first time he's drank with Farfada. He's familiar with the vodka.
Ramses is very interested in this.
Just Krios,
you and them.
Just Krios and Radamix glaring at each other the entire. Radamix glaring and Krios just going, hi.
Gorillas looks so curiously and just grabs a whole loaf of bread and starts eating it as she reaches out for the shot glass. She knows that she's in danger.
What about
She
you,
does not-
Thea?
She will politely grab a glass, but she will not drink it immediately.
Okay. Alright, everyone who takes their shot, give me con saving throws.
Who is? Hang on. Hang on a second. Hang on.
Where's my honey mead? I'm sorry. Mm-mm.
Listen, you're preaching to the
Absolutely
choir.
not.
I love mead.
Oh, anybody who's sitting within 10 feet of me gets a +3 to this.
Which is just
Amazing.
Thea and the two half-orc brothers. So they
Yeah,
used
are the Burgleys drinking?
yes, they are.
Can I deny them my aura of protection?
Yes, you can.
That's hilarious.
Denied. Oh,
I don't want them to have a +3.
Amazing.
I need to roll. Okay, yep, we're
If
gonna
I
do that.
could, I'd give them a -.
So, Christoph Bergley is the father. He slams his drink, puts it down, looks fine. He goes, if you'll excuse me. And he gets up and leaves. Marcus takes his shot. Goes, oh, that's a lot more than I thought it would be. The two...
Oh no.
Prince Radamix takes it and he's just... good shit. Prince Korgel takes it and he goes... yes, what my brother said. Good shit. Tyros drinks it. I don't get it. Keep doing the grog voice for him. I don't get it. Is it supposed to be strong? He got an at 20, so he's just like...
Amazing.
So the giant dragon man is just like...
Another.
Can I have more? Please?
Here you go. I like when you can handle dwarven
I
vodka.
also rolled a nat 20.
I also rolled a nat 20.
Oh,
Look at all of you.
So-
Amazing.
As per my
Right in
rules,
front of
nat
my
20
spouse.
is not an auto-success outcome, but Ramses, you pass.
I got a 26 total.
Cyrillus, because of your... You are not drunk, but you definitely get a little... Oh. Okay. Krios, what'd you get?
22.
You pass. And so you and Radamix are both just in the same state, just looking at each other. And Radamix just goes, another one? Kalakir?
I sure do love celebration. Why not?
Take some rocks from me. For free. It's good, trust me.
Thea does not drink immediately. She'll actually slide it into her lap to where it looks like she's examining whatever it is. She'll lift it up to kind of smell it and kind of swirl it a little. And then when she sets it back in her lap, she's quite literally going to fling it under her feet and then hold it like this so you can't see the glass.
Lilith is making
take it.
sure that every time she's looking at people drinking, she's watching them drink stuff. So she's looking. She's not seeing everything, but she's looking.
Give me a sleight of hand check, Thea.
Can do. She's sneaky, so she's specifically making sure that she's holding the glass as well. Ooh, that is going to be a total of 25.
Nice.
Roll me perception, Cyrillus. Already doing drinking game shenanigans in session 1.
I got to 19. I'm sorry.
Hey!
Yep. And so Tyros has the second one. He goes, "Does anyone want to play Drink or Dare?" Not Truth or Dare, because that game sucks, because then you tell secrets. Drink or Dare. You either have to drink or do a dare.
Yes! I love drinking games.
So dangerous.
So, the Burgleeses leave, and the princes stand, and Porgal just leaves, and he glares at Thea as he does, and Radamix puts his hand on both Thea and Ramses' shoulders, leans down, and just goes, "I'm taking the little idiots to meet with the Burgleeses." And he kind of leans into both of you and does a telepathic bond with both of you. Remember, time is separately, so you guys don't know he's talking to each of you, but he is talking to each of you. Remember, time is our friend. Take our time. I'm not worried about you doing anything rash. I'm worried about my brother. Keep an eye on him when you can. Slaps you both on the shoulder, probably a little harder than he needs to. And then he just goes, "Pleasure meeting everyone. I'm going to... Bye." Sleeps.
Bye. I'm going to. Bye.
He's the prince who's not good at decorum.
Amazing.
Tyros puts his arm around Krios' neck and he goes, "I'm going to go to the bathroom and then go to sleep. Make sure the king doesn't die."
Krios will put his arm on the back of Tyros, and obviously there's gonna be a very big height discrepancy where it's just like Krios looks like a child in Tyros' arms, but he'll look up into him and just say, "It's no different than what I've already done. Sleep well, friend."
Alright, cool. And takes another shot. Oh, that's a nat 1. He's finally like,
Oh no!
Oh no.
Stunning.
Drops.
and then he just looks at, no, he just goes, "You know, Krios, I like you better than I thought I did." Boop! Boops him on the nose and then just walks out of the room. He's just, he just goes up to him and goes, "Ami, I'm going to bed."
No.
Thank you for announcing. Be on your way.
Then he's just gonna, like, stumble out into the hall. He doesn't know where he's going. You guys weren't given rooms yet.
No.
So Tyros is going off to have his own little drunken adventure in another kingdom.
You know,
And
live your
so
best
Lilith,
life.
Look at her bodyguard and be like, "Can you go make sure he doesn't die?"
Uroth looks down at you and he just goes, "All for you, my lady." And just walks out and follows. And with that, you all have a moment to eat and drink before Cyrilla shows you to your rooms. To talk amongst yourselves. All of the NPCs are out of the room now. It is just you guys. And Grigor, but he's already drunk on the floor because he can't handle the liquor. Grigor's very bad. He, despite being the same species as Tyros, he clearly did not take Con as one of his best stats. It's just a running joke at this point that Grigor can't drink.
Aww. I think Thea will make a show of kind of putting things on her plate and being really engaged in the new type of cuisine that she's never seen. And as she's doing this and like piling things on her plate, she will just like slowly also like be sliding it to Ramsey's plate. Like, this is wonderful. You must try all of this. As she's like doing this maneuver, and she's not actually eating anything.
Could I possibly? I don't know how much Ramses. I and Ramses have theories about Thea and what her role is, but would Ramses have been informed what Thea's role is? in
Nope.
this?
As far as Ramses knows, Thea is just a friend of the prince's.
Just
that's what he was
balance.
told. He was told that she is a close friend of both princes, so the way they've been acting towards her would probably raise his suspicion a little bit,
Yeah.
especially
Could
the crown prince.
Could I, if it's all right with you, Farah, if I could make an insight check against
Yeah,
Thea
go
to
for it.
possibly maybe see if I can glean anything about your intentions
Yep.
in this situation.
And Thea,
Go for
you
it.
could roll me whatever you think is more fitting for deception or persuasion.
Ooh.
While they're rolling, would Krios see this because he's looking at the princess?
The princes have just left.
Oh, gotcha.
They left, and so at this point, you might still be looking over there. And if you are, you could see if you could give me a perception check to see her sliding food and not eating it.
She's audibly going, "Oh, this is wonderful. You must try this." Like she's putting it on her plate first, but she's like stood up a little bit, and every time she like leans over and is making a show of trying to be sneaky. But
I got a 22 insight.
ooh, I got a 21 persuasion. Yeah.
So, from what you can tell, and I'll let Pyrea add on to this if she wishes, definitely not 100% here just because she's friends with the princes. And the relationship between her and the crown prince seems a little strained at best right now.
Yeah.
So, you pick.
Yeah.
I'll let if you want to add on to that, Pyrea.
I would say that if he continues to pay attention to her through like the evening, or even since they like stepped out of the portal, she has been paying very close attention to like the way she's moving, the way she's interacting with everybody, and it's definitely a performance.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm getting a sense for it.
Cyrillus likes gamey game, right? Because Cyrillus has been a woman in court situations where the politics are high stakes and cutthroat. And so it's like, cool, I don't know what game you're playing yet, but I'm watching you play it. Awesome.
And with that, Uroth walks back in the room, and he leans forward and goes, "My lady, I have given Sir Tyros a room. And if you would not mind, the Emperor is requesting the presence of you and His Majesty Amaryllis for a moment before you retire."
She just like makes eye contact with her brother.
Yeah, he would
Yeah.
push his plate aside.
Excellent. Wonderful. And she just stands up. She like collects all of the things she's been writing in because she's been writing a contract through this entire time.
Shall I escort
Work never ends.
Shall I escort the remaining guests to their quarters as well?
That would be when they are ready. That would be wonderful. Thank you.
And Uroth is a big guy, and he's got very long, like, black hair, beard about down to his belly button, tattoos all over his arms and face, not wearing any armor or a shirt. Like, he's walking around shirtless in a high court setting. He has a little sash that he wears across his chest, because that's the most they could get to getting him to wear a shirt.
Cover his nip nops.
Only one. It only covers one. That's the thing. Cyrillus tried to give it wide enough to cover both, and she was way off.
They tried to get him to put on a shirt at every single available moment.
So Cyrillus in her entire life just always has this massive shirtless man following her around.
It's so nice. I love it so much. It's so good.
Hired by her brother.
Oh, I love it.
And
So nice.
also, just a bit of lore that Cyrillus you would probably be picking up now after the Emperor said that the royal family of the Kolsar is in hiding. That's Uroth's family. And he just found out that his entire kingdom has been destroyed at this meeting, and that's why he's been very quiet, and he just goes, "My lady," and just stands there, quietly, stone-faced.
Rob,
Yes,
do
my
you
lady.
remember the gift that I got you for your birthday 4 years ago? It was a bath bomb that smells frilly, so he never used it. When you're ready, when you go to bed tonight beforehand, I want you to take a bath with that present in the bathtub.
Any
It's a bath bomb that's like magically designed to help him with his feelings.
I love this.
As you, all for you, my lady.
Thank you.
And then she looks at her brother and goes, well, no time like right the hell now, I guess. Because she's toasty now.
Yeah. So as you guys are walking, and for the other 4 of you, we'll come back in a second. You do hear yelling as you get closer, and all you can make out with your passive perceptions is the Emperor yelling, "Your constant need to one-up your brother and constant need to devalue your sister and force her into things that she doesn't want has led to a lot of problems for me, Virilus. You will do as you are commanded. You will cease this ordering of Cyrillus to marry me without her consent, and you will!" And then he goes, "We'll continue this discussion tomorrow."
Like, as they hear it, she's like, pawing at Amaryllis to slow down. Just like, no,
Wait a minute.
No.
He goes, "We'll continue this tomorrow."
And then they wait. And she,
But know this, Virilus, if you continue to take what was once a special relationship between me and your sister and try to twist it for your own gain, I will find a new Prime Minister. Be gone. And the door opens, and Virilus sees both of you, and he just runs away. And
Amaryllis is desperately trying to keep it together. Just,
the Emperor just looks and goes, "Ah, welcome." He puts a little orb in the center of the room, taps it, and a little bubble comes out from it. And he starts talking inside, and you can't hear him. And he walks out. "I've soundproofed the room for the two of you so you can talk freely without worrying about your brother's ears."
Much appreciated.
Yes. "Despite my words earlier, Your Majesty, I do think it is in our best interest to work together, and I look forward to hearing your side of the story soon."
I look forward to telling it.
And then he looks at Cyrillus, and he just like looks around and knowing because he just quickly gives her like a little hug, and he's like, "I'm sorry," and then he just like, walks away.
and she just
Amaryllis is like
hugs
looking
back
at this
really
and like,
quickly and then just like walks into the bubble. She's like, nope, can't.
not saying a word, but he's definitely just witnessed that like, oh.
What do you
Okay.
mean? I made the boy that her brother wants her to marry extra sweet and nice and handsome.
No.
So it's Cyrillus is like,
Well,
do I spite or cute boy? Spite, cute boy. And before we have all of you, we'll pay back to the rest of you. Uroth just standing there goes, "Whenever the rest of you are ready, we can bed. Go to bed."
In bed? Oh, okay. I thought it was something more fun, but okay.
He picks up Grigor, puts him over his shoulder, and he's like, "Lady Varvara, if you will."
Well, I guess it's time to go to bed. At this point, Barbara's cat, Cruz, would have been snuggling up with Krios, because he really missed him in the time they've been gone. And Barbara just goes like, "Cruz, time to go. Krios, good to see you. See you tomorrow. Family reunions, very nice. Those are always fun. Ramses, like your tasks. We'll talk about them tomorrow. And Thea, right?
Yes.
Hey, Thea. I like your vibe. You're very mysterious. Looking forward to cracking you. See you later. Bye."
It feels weird with the whole rock thing, right? She like says out loud.
Krios will just say, "Sleep well, friend," and look to Thea and say, "When you hang around doors, you get used to it."
Oh, well, I'll make note of it then.
So, Varvara, you are guided to your room. It is a room that your family has at the embassy anyway. So, it is decorated in all the things your dad really likes. There's a lot of random, like, minecart sculptures. And there's pictures of dwarven kings everywhere. You do notice at the bedside table there's a picture of him and your mother. And Uroth just plops Grigor on him on the couch inside, and he just goes, I have nowhere else to put him, I'm sorry.
It's all good. He's my friend. He'll get better. I've seen him like this before. He just needs some time to sleep.
I know what Grigor's voice is going to be now. Grigor just struggling goes, I will be fine, good sir! I will conquer this drink one day, but for now, I sleep.
Sleep. It's okay. It's okay.
I have this whole catalog of voices that I use for player characters in my head, but I always seem to default to the same voices for NPCs and never use the other ones. So I'm like, you know what? Let's use some of the fun voices. Except for the characters who have to be menacing. Then we can't use the fun. Well, we could. It'd just be a lot sillier. We can't have the main villain sounding like Nappa from Dragon Ball Z Abridged. That'd be a little...
Listen, I mean, we could.
I'm going to kill you all.
I'm here for it.
I mean,
Vegeta. Alright, so Uroth comes back and he just sees Krios, Ramses, and Thea, and he just goes, I don't know where to put you two, but I know where to put you. And he, like, nudges Krios, he's like, ready for your room?
Krios is gonna look at Ramses, because above board, he wouldn't have seen him before, right? Like, he hasn't seen him on the
He's
battle.
never seen Ramses before.
Actually, on that note, before he came back, I think Ramses would have moved closer to Christ and just kind of very politely, he would have like given him a little. It's very obvious that he's abiding by like the letter of the law of like how to act in court. But he just he'll walk over to you and go, good sir, I can see that there is history between yourself and the brothers. I would like to, in advance, apologize on their behalf for any way that they may act that puts strain on the situation. But you do have our full cooperation.
Krios will take great note of this, and definitely being a noble who has played the game, the politeness game, the noble game, will acknowledge, what Ramses is doing here. But he'll say, I want to be clear. I don't hate the princes. I don't hate El Halan. War is war. That's all there is to it. Some people feel a way about things that happened on the battlefield. And that's their right. But we'll be okay. I appreciate the gesture.
Of course, it is our responsibility to put aside the wounds of old battlefields when you meet on a new one.
Indeed. It's a pleasure to meet you, Ramses.
You
a good night. And Krios will make his way to the room.
So Krios, there's no embassy for Silvaran here, so they've given you guest rooms in the Emperor's Manor. And your room, as you open, is just a very nice decorated room. As soon as Uroth closes the door behind you, everything in the room gets cold and you can see your own breath. And you hear a voice that you've heard before. I tire of waiting, boy.
Cruz will take a massive breath. It just just a reset breath of just shit.
You know what I require for my help before I require a sacrifice of sovereign blood. I care not which ruler I get it from.
I'm well aware of the terms. But what would you have me do? Kill someone at dinner?
No need for that, boy. I have other chosens at that dinner party. They will be revealed to you soon, and you will do everything they tell you. Or I'll rip your father's bones from his body while he's still alive, and drain your mother's blood into your next bath. Am I clear?
You paint a exceedingly clear picture. Thank you for the visual.
Your sarcasm's noted, boy. I will not be revealing who your better is. But when they reveal themselves to you, you will do what they can to the best, do what they order to the best of your ability. I will decide if it is suitable. And when the task is done, I'll grant you even more power. Unlike most of the other of my kind, I can have more than one chosen. And a spot has just, well, a spot will open up soon.
Fine.
Continue on your path to greatness, and we will get along very nicely. But remember, your king is not to know of your association with me yet.
I will do my best to hide this.
Good boy. Now, rest. You'll need it. And the room gets back to normal temperature. And Krios, you are sweating profusely.
Yeah, Krios is, since no one is there watching, his cold exterior, not there. It's not there. He's probably dropped to his knees and he's like looking at his hands like, fuck. And he'll like pull out one of his short swords and just like throw it at a wall. And then try to take a breath and then collect himself and get his short sword and put it back in his sheath.
All right. So then, Barbara, in your room, Grigor, we're just going to say if you want to do anything last before bed, because then we're going to move on to Thea and Ramses before bed, and then finally the siblings get to chat before we take our break. So, Grigor just goes, I will best you at a drinking contest one day, Va. It may not be today, or tomorrow, or 50 years from now. But I will do it. My name isn't Grigor. What's my last name? I forget. I'm going to sleep.
Varvara is just kind of staring at Grigor. She's clearly very sober. And she's enjoying the sight of Grigor being super, super out of it. She's kind of like, one day you will, my friend. One day you will. And she's gonna stand up and just kind of grab a blanket and like cover Grigor up and be like, sleep. Tomorrow will be better.
Good night, my lady. You and that pretty hair of yours I will see tomorrow. And then he just passes out.
Alright, and before Varvara goes to bed, she's just gonna look at the picture frame of her father and mother and just be like, well, Papa, you got what you wanted. You got rid of me, and I can't help but wonder. Maybe you weren't trying to get rid of me after all. Maybe you just thought they could do something big. But who knows? I miss you anyways. Good night. And then she'll go to bed as well.
All right. So, with Thea and Ramses, do you guys just retire for the night when Uroth returns to escort you, or do you sit alone and drink for a little bit?
Ramses, I think now that it's just us, is kind of is looking at Thea like, you can tell he's like trying to get a read on you.
Well, should we go? Or are you still hungry?
I'm quite fine to go to bed. But and I'll look around if we're the only people in the room at the moment. And just let's see. I know why I'm here. I think I'm starting to understand why you're here. I'm very interested to see how the next days, weeks, however long this takes. I'm very interested to see how it goes.
Oh, well, I'm just here to help. I'm quite good at healing, not in a traditional sense, but an extra level of protection, so to speak.
Very, very needed in these times, I'm sure.
Obviously. We'll see how everything goes.
Yes. And he like looks over at the nameplates of the Burgleys next to him, and his face just like, that anger just like creeps right back into his face.
You're going to hear Thea's voice in your head. But the octave kind of shifts a little, and it's a little different than what you've been hearing her say out loud as she goes, you know, if you have any questions, just go ahead and ask. It's not here. Not until somewhere safe.
Is Ramses able to respond mentally to this message?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm gonna say yes either way.
Okay.
just for fun roleplay things. So roleplay heavy campaign guy. We're gonna roll with it.
There you go.
Yeah. He'll look at you and will say, as questions arise, I will not hesitate to ask, Lady Thea.
She'll just nod and like scoot her chair back and get up from the table. They don't know where they're going, so whoever's there to tell them where they're going, unless they just like wander around. Okay.
Uraf guides you to the guest rooms in the manor, which are the. He looks at his paper and he goes, "I'm going to guess you don't want to share a room with one of the princes."
No. I think it would be better if I had my own space.
That's what I thought. He crumbles the paper and then just takes you to one of the guest rooms and opens it. And right next to Ramses' room. And there you go. Bye. He just leaves.
Thank you. Because he's like, why?
There's just very nice, very fancy rooms in the guest quarter of, honestly, in the same area that Krios' room is in.
Okay.
And
do we get a cold breeze as we're walking through the hallway?
you get a little, you get a shiver. Which for me, since you guys are from a more temperate, like a more hot climate anyway, it's like, ooh, like cold?
Ooh, yeah. No thanks.
This altitude?
All of you are technically from a warmer climate, except for Varvara is from the cold mountains.
Yeah.
So, would you guys like to do anything before bed? Otherwise,
I think Thea is just recalling the evening and scribbling down important details of like where she thinks whose room is where and who's on kind of what floor, even though like they only have so much of a scope of where they're at. She's just trying to write down what she's seen, just in case.
Okay. Ramses
goes through a very methodical process of taking off his armor and carefully laying out each piece. I think he would have. I don't whether or not he would have to request it or it'd be standard for there to be like a stand or a rack of some sort to keep his armor on. And as he like kind of takes off the last bits, he like looks at his hands and they're like shaking a little bit, and he just kind of clenches his fists and just breathes. Just unclenches his fists, and he'll spend some time taking a look at the spear he was gifted and just get a feel for the balance of it.
It is a solid red spear with gold tint throughout. Seems like it was custom made in Apology. It feels a little bit light, but also durable.
Very swiftly it must have been made. I think it as like, his hand, he still has that tension. He just kind of spins and just absolutely decks one of like the posts of the bed. Just full send on this spear into the into the bedpost.
Okay.
And he'll leave it there when he goes to bed.
And as you go to bed, you lay down, and for a split second, it looks like the spear glows. And in the back of your mind, you just almost see one word: rage.
Accurate.
And then, now that we got through all the traumatizing parts, we're going to go to probably the least traumatizing part of this whole session: Amaryllis and Cyrillus getting to re-meet. And actually, before we do that, we're going to go on a break now. And then we'll come back from the break with the dialogue. And then we're going to have our... Well, something might happen. Who knows?
Give me an opportunity to drink some water.
All right, so
drink water. Yes.
With that, for everyone watching at home, we will be right back. Hi everyone, welcome back. And where last we left off, the siblings were about to reunite after 100 years apart. And Cyrillus not getting any of Amaryllis' letters.
So she's walked through the bubble. And she makes sure Amaryllis is also. And she has her back to him. And her heart is pounding. And there's like the rushing sound of the ocean in her ears. And she starts off real quiet. In the morning, when you rise, I bless the sun, I bless the sky, I bless your lips, I bless your eyes. And she turns. My blessing goes with you. In the nighttime when you sleep, oh, I bless your watch I keep. And she walks towards him. As you lie in slumber deep, my blessing goes with you. And she like takes his hands.
Oh my god. Wreck me.
And she looks at him and she starts crying. I missed you. I wrote you every day.
I wrote you too. I wrote you every week, and then every month, and then once a year when I finally decided that you must have been so upset with me for leaving. I never received any letters.
And she just like bursts into tears. Hysterical sobs.
He would pull her into a hug and be like, I missed you too.
They did
Tears.
with you, and I kept writing for 98 years, 344 days, and then
Cyrillus, breathe.
Oh my God,
Take a breath. 1, 2, 3.
She looks up at him, and I knew something was wrong, but I didn't know who to ask. I don't know who has those letters.
I don't either. Apparently Virillis had written as well. It makes sense why he's being so... well, you know.
To be fair, he's always like that.
It's, a little extra.
He's been so much worse since you've been gone!
Oh, I'm so sorry.
And she's laughing and she's crying. You know how it is sometimes.
And he definitely has one of her hands like cupped in his, and he's like, I know this is not the moment, but he mentioned I have had no word of our parents. Please, Cyrillus, you have to tell me what happened.
They passed in their sleeps, according to the coroner, within hours of each other. Natural causes, they called it.
Natural causes.
Of course, Virillis believes them because he's the one who assigned the coroner.
And what does he believe? I know you've heard the rumors of my son.
Virillis believes the worst in all of us. Because Virillis indulges the worst in himself and cannot imagine a universe in which everyone else is not just like him.
You don't think I
No.
would?
No, not for a second. But why did you stay away?
I could not leave him. I did not know there was a cure. I did not want to leave him.
That's fair, I suppose. I don't think I could leave you. Or Wulfrun. She takes his shoulders and squares up with her brother. Does he look like he's in pain in all that stuff?
He looks as if whatever he saw in his last moments terrified every bit of him to the core. And I had to leave him. I left.
He hugged him close. And whispers into his chest. The truth may not be hopeful, but the telling of it is. And she closes her eyes shut and just holds him real tight.
Oh. And he'll just hold her for a moment too and be like, if you can look at me and not see a monster, that's a start.
And she chuckles and pulls away. The only time you've ever been capable of being a monster was when you decided when we were what? 20? 30? That it would be fun to embarrass me in front of all of your friends. It was the only time you were ever a monster in all of these years. And you were excused because you were in your 30s. They're idiots when they're in that.
Well, 100 years is but a flesh wound for ourselves, so if you allow me on this trip, I will bandage it.
There will be time for healing of wounds alike.
And maybe Virilus will turn a coin too.
You know,
I know
could in fact happen.
We're speaking of hope. We're being hopeful. I'm just.
We're at the end of the world. There are dragons. Miracles could happen.
Miracles and dragons don't go together.
Maybe.
I know one thing. I will not let Dragonfire ruin or take anything else I love. So.
No.
Don't look at me like that, Cole! How dare you!
Specifically fire, maybe some lightning, ice.
I don't trust you for a second!
And as you two are having this reconciliation, the bubble fizzles and comes down, and the Emperor just knocks on the door and goes, "That is all the time I could afford you, for now. I hope it was worth the time."
It was more than enough time.
And Virilus just wipes her eyes. Thank you.
He opens the door and he's just... "Now, if you'll excuse me, I'd prefer to have my bedchamber back, so I can go to sleep. Lord, Your Majesty, King Amaryllis, you have the room next to mine for the night. The royal guest room. Lady Cyrillus Uroth is standing outside.
Of course he is.
He's been here for 20 minutes.
Of course he is.
Dutiful one. I shall see you in the morning, sweet sister.
I'll see you then.
As you walk out, Uroth just goes, "My lady,
Uras,
shall we retire?"
I think it's time.
He just walks back. And as you all lay your heads down for sleep, you don't sleep long. Krios, you awake to heat on your face. As you look up, and your entire room is aflame.
Krios is going to assess the situation in the room, and also, like, are there windows in this room? What's the layout?
There are windows, yeah. But you were on the 7th floor. But you're a spellcaster, so it's not much of a big deal for you. But there are windows, yes. And one of those windows is wide open.
Chris is gonna note that when the windows is open, and he's gonna go to the door and try to assess the situation. So is like the door on fire as well, or?
It is. It is a stone door, though. So for now, it somehow has caught flame. You notice this flame is not normal. It is orange, but as you look closer at it, it fizzles to green. This is green flame dragon. Whether someone has turned it into a weapon or if there's a dragon attacking. If there was a dragon attacking, though, you could probably assess there'd be a lot more going on, but it is green flame.
Very interesting. All right, Krios is going to cast. I'm gonna cast some frostbite around the room and
Okay.
just spray and pray across the room.
Music change. So, you cast Frostbite and the fire starts to dim a little. And then as the sizzles on the ground, it sprouts up even fiercer than before. The door itself is not on flame now, though. And
Krios is going... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
and it opens, and you see a hand reaching out for you, like offering for you to follow.
Krios is going to look at the hand. Does it look like a hand of someone he knows?
It is a half-orc hand. It is a large gray half-orc hand.
Krios will say, "Who is this?"
It's the person you want to kill, but right now we gotta go!
Fair enough. And Krios will make his way to the door.
The entire building is in green flame, and the rest of you wake up to this as well. Varvara, you wake up and there is a person standing with a sword above Gregor's head. They're dressed entirely in black. Your room is in flames. Gregor, his eyes are open, darting around. Looks as though he's under some sort of spell.
Barbara is going to jump off of the bed, grab onto her hammer, rush towards whoever is holding the sword over Gregor's head, and smash whoever it is that's trying to hurt Gregor.
Roll to hit.
Hold on 1 second. And she's going to use her hammer.
While she's rolling to hit, Thea, you wake up and your room's fine, but you see smoke coming under your door.
She'll definitely get up and let's see. She's going to cast invisibility on herself before she opens the door.
Okay.
And she's gonna look at the direction that the smoke is like billowing from.
Okay. So as you open the door, You start to open it, and it's pushed open, and two men clad in black run in. They don't notice you, obviously because you're invisible. And then one of them's just... the tiefling bitches in here.
Who are they? What do they look like?
They're clad completely in black. They appear to be either... They're humanoid.
Okay.
Their faces are covered. They're definitely not Draken or tiefling because they do not have horns. Far too small to be Kolsar or half-orcs. So, more than likely elven or human or something like, which humans are very rare in this continent, so... But this is a kingdom of elves, and there's 3 of them. And they have no sigils on them, no nothing, just solid black.
Solid black, okay.
But they all wield distinct curved swords.
Okay.
Curved swords.
Thea is not going to say anything as she like slips between them and to Ramsey's door. And she's not going to like knock or anything. She's gonna like just open the door if it's unlocked and slide in and like try and quietly close it behind her and see if she able to do that. Is the door locked?
Well, I would have asked if Ramses is awake as you approach the door. It probably would have like slammed open, and Ramses would have just like just power strode into the hallway in just like trousers, shirt, boots, and with his shield and spear, just like looking. He's got like Terminator eyes right now.
Amazing.
Yeah, you open the door and Thea just imagine it's like as the door just and the 3 men run out and one of them just bolts the other way and the other 2 charge at you.
Yeah, if I see the 3 of them, I just kind of point the spear at them and I just go, "You."
All right, real quick, what did you roll over there, Var?
Can you tell me, it's showing me 2 types of damage on here, so I can use both. It says 1d8 plus 5 plus 1d10 plus 5.
So that's for battle axe. If you wanted a great axe or for your maul, if you're doing it two-handed, it's 1d10.
Yeah, this is the hammer of runic focus.
Yeah, so it's a hammer, so it's a 1d. If you're two-handing it, it's 1d10. If you're one-handing it, it's a d8. So it's the d10 I'm imagining since you're two-handing it.
Yeah, so 1d10 plus 5. Okay. Yeah, so that would have been 8.
8. You slam your hammer into this guy's head, and he just turns, and as his focus wanes, actually, let me see. He drops concentration on whole person. Grigor stands up and just... And... he's just dead. That's a nat 20. Grigor just stabs him through and rips up. He just looks at you and goes, "Are you alright, my lady?"
I'm quite alright, are you alright?
"I'm perfectly fine now. Off into the fray I go!" And he runs into the hallway.
Living his best life.
He just, oh no, I just made him Matt Berry.
I
Now,
just
my
expect him to
baby,
be like, Giselle!
we shall be married in the morning.
I cut loose to Herakos because it sounded like it had lots of tacos. So he runs out in the hall. Do you follow, Varvara?
Yes, Varvara's gonna look back at her cat. Be like, "Bruce, come on, let's go. Let's see what the hell this is all about."
Just follows.
We come together and go,
Cyrillus and Amaryllis, you two smell something. And Cyrillus, Ulroth is already... You wake up and there's 4 dead bodies on the ground in your room. And Ulroth is covered in slices. But he just looks... He just looks at you and he's... Points at the door and just goes... "Run."
She does not need a second opinion. She does not need nothing. She runs.
And Amaryllis, as your door opens, you hear, "Time to wake up, your majesty." And it is the Emperor, and he's like, "We need to go. Someone is in my halls."
You waste no time grabbing all this stuff.
Right. So, Krios. We're playing back to you, Krios. You are with one of the orcs, right? And as you two are running together, you bust into a room with just the two of you and the other half-orc, and then Commander Burgleys. And they're fighting off some of these guards and their pets, which happen to be 2 green drakes.
Krios is... I mean, he's gonna keep an eye on the situation unfolding in front of him. But he is going to ask, where's Amaryllis' room?
They point at the door where the 2 drakes are guarding. That way.
The drakes are guarding that door?
Mm-hmm. They're guarding the door to the royal quarter.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Then Krios will help the orcs and the Burgleys with the drakes in that room.
So, we'll come back to that because we have some fun there. Barbara, you and Grigor run through. There's a few dead bodies on the ground. And you run back into Ramses fighting 2 guys. And Thea's there, but you don't know she's there. So, Ramses, we're not gonna do initiative for this. This is gonna be very quick pseudo combat for this encounter. First real combat encounter will be next session. They're both gonna swing at you with their extremely poisoned swords. Does a 17 hit?
Before this happens, could I take a sneak attack?
Sure.
Since none of them see me, like as they're dashing down the hall.
Sure.
Whichever one's kind of closer to me, I would like to toss my my little psychic blades at them. So just yeet them. So give me just a second.
Roll to hit, please, madame.
Yeah. Let's go.
Combat time. That means it's mead time.
All right. Does a 14 hit from
Actually, yes, because they are wearing no armor. They were trying to just kill everyone, get it in out. Something went wrong.
Oh, that's good.
So
they'll take 5d6. 5d6 plus. Okay, 15 points, and then 1d6 plus 4. Give me just a quick second. Ooh, plus 8. Okay, so she's just gonna toss like 2 psychic blades at these guys. Well, one of them, and it's going to be a 22 points of psychic damage.
yeah, so you're watching both Varvara and Ramses as this guy's running at you, Ramses, and then suddenly a psychic blade just in his mouth, and he just falls down dead.
Amazing.
Odd. Hell yeah.
That's convenient.
And then
Cole, would it have been feasible for Ramses to cast a Shield of Faith on himself before busting out in the hallway?
sure, it's a bonus action. That's fine.
As I am not wearing armor right now.
And then one of them, the one that's still alive, is still going to swing at you, Ramses.
Yeah.
I don't know for 5 hits.
It does not.
So clangs off your spear, and then I'm going to let you counterattack him.
Yeah, 2 attacks.
Yeah, with your 2 attacks.
Yeah. I think Ramses' fighting style with like the shield and spear, it's very much like Achilles in the Troy movie.
Ooh, good choice.
Well, one of those is a nat 20.
Oh, okay, just roll damage.
Okay.
Honestly, I think watching Brad Pitt and Troy might have been my bi-awakening a little bit, because have you all seen Brad Pitt as Achilles? Like,
oh, and does my other to hit is a Jesus Christ. It's not Jesus Christ. Is 15 to hit, which
That
hits
hits,
as
yeah.
well.
I think it was Brad Pitt at first, and then I saw Man of Steel, and I was like, yep, definitely at least a little gay. Henry Cavill just holding up an entire oil rig shirtless, and I was like,
25 points of damage between the 2 attacks.
So you hit him with your spear, impale him through the throat, and he's no more. And Varvara, there's a third one running at you, trying to get away. Do you smack him?
Oh yeah. She gonna go. She gonna smash and smash again because I have 2 attacks per action as well.
Roll to hit. Barbarian.
And now I know how to do things. Sorry, I'm slow. 13 on the first one. That hit.
13 does it. These guys have a little AC, but that's not gonna. That's gonna change soon with the big thing to fight.
The big thing. Stop it.
Perfect.
Okay, how much damage?
So I have 13 plus 7 damage.
Okay, that's okay. So you kill him. They have 20 HP. So you just hit him with your hammer so hard his head flies off and lands in, like, on Thea's feet. And
she's still invisible.
She's still invisible.
She's just taking a step back. She's staying invisible.
So Grigor walks up and goes, "Ah, Ramses, well struck. Twice, it seems. We must go and aid the Monarchs and keep them safe."
Ramses just for hearing this, such a dutiful voice, it just does have a half second of, what? Alright.
Listen, I'm good at that voice and I enjoy it, so.
It's great. It's great.
As you should.
So good.
But yeah, he'll like run up and kind of clap him on the shoulder, and just say, "I must check on the princes."
So it's so funny. Now I can't let Grigor die.
I mean, honestly, no, you can't.
Nope.
So you
done it. You absolutely cooked yourself.
So Thea, I'm imagining you're following along with them.
Yes, she's just not saying anything yet.
So you guys follow, and you guys, Amaryllis, you, the Emperor, catch up with Cyrillus in the hall. And
Oh, good, you're okay.
Are you alright?
I'm fine.
And
Let's get out of here.
Amaryllis, she looks down but very briefly and squeezes his hand. It's green.
I know.
And
Okay.
between the two of you, you see a magic bolt fly through and hit one of the assailants. And Virilus is standing there and goes, "Well, don't just stand there!" And he's trying to open the door from the royal quarters into the main quarter. And now we're going to pan back to Krios. There are 2 drakes guarding, and they point and go, and they just look at you and go, "You're the dragon killer? Earn your money's worth." And they start fighting the random guys. And the 2 drakes are like, they're about direwolf sized. And they're just like down, pounce both of them green. They have green flame bristling at their mouths. And I'm gonna have one go before you, one after. One of them just shoots a little bolt of fire out of his mouth at you. He misses, because that's a nat 1. And it flies past your head and hits one of the other guys. And you see his face start to dissolve away from the poison flame. And then the other one is bristling, and it's your move.
Krios is gonna be annoyed that they brought him into this room and asked him to help with this fight. But he will just fire off a ray of frost at this drake that just spat at him.
Okay.
Just roll a hit.
Yeah.
And that is... Oops. Plus 8. Oh shit, that's a 27. Golly.
Ooh, yeah, that hits. Also to point out, in the room with Krios allies is the 2 orc princes and Papa Burgleys. Not Marcus, just the dad.
And then for damage, we're looking at 6 from that ray of frost.
6, okay. Still up.
Oh, still my turn?
Is that
Oh,
you?
it's still up, sorry.
Yeah. You can do just a reminder for the why I do rules. You can do a second leveled spell as a bonus action, even if you've already done a cantrip or whatever, as long as it specifically says bonus action. Or since you're a sorcerer, quicken spell, things like that. Means if you wanted to, you can action, like for reference later, action, lightning bolt, quicken spell, fireball is totally on the table.
Okay. Chris will look at Papa Burgley's and he will try to assess. So is he also in the middle of this fight as well, or is he getting his bearings? What is Papa Burgley's looking like right now?
He has killed a couple of the guys and he's just staring at you right now.
Krios is going to try and slyly point a finger in his direction and cast message.
Okay.
And he's going to say, intentionally is not trying to make fun, but he's clearly trying to get at something here. I was going to be like, were you rooming with the orcs?
He's going to retort, I need to keep an eye on all of my master's toys. And you're going to feel that same cold that you felt earlier.
Noted. Krios is going to clock that.
Pyrea's like, crap! Shit! That makes things complicated. Makes things complicated for everybody. And he just smirks and he's got his hammer on his shoulder and he throws it at one of the drakes and smashes the one that you ray of frost. Its skull is now split. And he calls his hammer back. And so, yeah, he killed one, and he's just, like, looking at you. And he just says, and after you're done, I'm gonna have a new job for you.
Chris will not say anything, even though he's the one that casts the message. But he's just going to nod his head.
Krios is like, that was a mistake! Alright, so the one after you is going to try to pounce on you. I need a contested athletics check from you.
Okie dokie. I got a 12.
You did not beat it. It pounces and it is on top of you, and its mouth is starting. You can see gurgling in its throat as it swells, and it opens its mouth. It's not, and you have. That's its turn because it did the pounce. You don't take any damage. The other guys kill more of the soldiers, and then you have a chance to do something to this thing before it gurgles all over you.
Do something as like an action?
Yeah, it's your turn.
Okay, cool. Brios is going to... well, maybe like above table. I'll tell you what I'm thinking, and we'll see if this is like possible.
Okay.
I was thinking of doing a Misty Step. And just popping out of there.
You can do that.
Oh shit, my headphones just died.
Oh no.
I can't hear anything. Hold on 1 second.
On his turn! On his turn, too!
Connect real quick. Oh boy. Okay. I'm back. I can hear things.
Okay.
All right.
So you can Misty Step away. That's fine. That's your bonus action. After you Misty Step out of it, he just looks kind of confused. You still have your action.
Cool. And then Krios is going to follow up with an ice knife at the first level.
Okay. Remind me of the saving throw. And it's a 2-hit, I know, but there's also a saving throw, correct?
Yeah, to hit, it was a 12.
That does not hit, so he might get the residual ice damage, but not the piercing damage. What's the save?
Save... Sorry. 16 dex save.
It does not save, so falls flat on his ass. And I believe there's some cold damage with that as well.
Yeah, it's looking at 6 damage.
Okay. He's a little chilly. And then at this point, And I know you're just sitting there saving your spell slots for the big thing I mentioned earlier. If I had mentioned a big thing, you'd have been like, lightning bolt! One of the orcs, Radamix, walks up and he swings his sword at it. I keep rolling nat 20s for these guys. Hopefully I don't do it for the boss fight. Cleaves its skull in half, picks it up, and he just looks at you and he just smirks. And Burgleys looks at you and his eyes glow for a second and he goes, "Not him, boy. Your target. Oh, let's deal with the big one first and then we can talk." And the door is searing hot. And for the rest of you, Barillis unlocks the door and it opens in a big circular chamber. And numerous of the Royal Palace guards are lying dead on the ground. Uh-oh.
Who'd we lose?
Ah.
Oh!
No! We lost him.
Having a time!
Oh no.
Dear God, he was so young. Oh, he's back.
Okay, good. I was like, did I make him mad?
Where'd it go?
Just leaves the campaign. I'm out.
So dramatic.
So, the circular room, there is a worm with a Y. It is a wingless dragon, like a drake, but about triple the size. About the size of an adult green dragon, but wingless. Looks just like an adult green dragon, but wingless. And it has killed about 20 of the guards. And it turns, and its eyes lock immediately with Amaryllis. This is not the dragon, obviously. But this is one of its offspring. And then, at that moment, Krios and his little entourage break through their side of the door. And now everyone can roll initiative. Now we have our first real combat encounter. And
The green dragon!
Thea, you will get a surprise round because you're invisible.
Oh yeah.
I miss Aaron's initiative.
I bet you do.
Oh, man.
Okay, I am going through real quick. Let me just... the two half-orc brothers, they see everything, and they run up and they grab the Emperor, and they look at Ramses and they just go, "Kill that thing, boy! We're going! Keep it safe! Keep the rest of them safe. We'll safeguard the Emperor!"
My lords, I am 3 years younger than you. You don't have to call me. You don't have to call me, boy. Slipping into Blackwood's voice.
Yup.
So good.
Yeah.
Gotta knock it off with that. It's just a tick. It's just every time I do the Kratos voice, it's just the first place my brain goes. I need to stop. Who am I missing? Thea. And Burgleys is just kind of watching through the door. And Barillis seems to have left. Actually, Cyrillis, you see him cast Dimension Door.
Yeah, bite. I hate it. Oh!
This guy!
He left you! He could have at least taken one of you!
So it's just the party and Grigor, which could we have it any other way, and Uroth.
Roth.
He won't abandon you.
Don't you dare kill Grigor.
Okay, Grigor's initiative is 18. Uroth's is 17. The worms is 23. Ramses!
5.
Oh. Krios!
15.
Amaryllis.
14.
Varvara.
8. That was with attention.
Cyrillis.
That's a dirty 20, my dude.
Hey!
Yeah!
Thea.
13.
Why don't you get a surprise round, so you go first.
Amazing.
And this thing is, remember, a huge creature, bigger than a young green dragon.
Amazing. I go first completely, entirely.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's a surprise.
perfect.
It's a surprise round.
Yeah. Ooh, what do I have that? It's a green. Ooh, I'm trying to see if I have a spell that like could give more damage than. Nope. Let's go ahead and do. I'm going to add. Nope, we're gonna go ahead and just do. We'll just go Psionic Blade as an action and as a bonus action. So I'll roll to hit twice.
Okay. And I do want to stress for the viewers and also all the players, every other major encounter in this campaign, unless it's like one that y'all make happen on accident, will be used with a Roll20 map.
Okay.
This is the only one.
Yeah, that's totally good. So
Theater of the Mind.
let's see. Amazing. Does a 15 and a 10 hit?
The 15 just hits. The 10 does not.
Go figure. Okay, so she'll do 1d6 plus 4. Not very strong. It is going to take 8 points of psionic damage as one of these little blades just like shoots out of nothing.
Okay. And I just want to point, y'all are on two opposite sides of a big circular room, running out of doors. So he can't breath weapon all of you at once, but he can breath weapon half of you each.
Ugh.
Which
yeah. Oh, go ahead.
one side's a little tankier because it's got Grigor and Ramses. The other side, the only beef they've got is Uroth.
That'll be fine.
Also,
yeah.
Yeah. Is that your turn?
Sorry. Yes.
Okay. So the Great Worm is going to... I'm just going to roll a... It's going to look right at Amaryllis still, and it's going to inflate its neck. And it's going to breath weapon, so I need Amaryllis, Cyrillus...
Joy.
And actually, I just need you two for the players to make saving throws, and then I also need Uroth to make one.
Can I use my... I'm going to absorb elements.
That is a reaction. You can do that.
Yeah.
Hells yeah.
I don't suppose any of those three are within 10 feet of me?
They're on the other side of the room from you, so no.
Okay.
Gotcha.
They're on the other side of
What's-
the big Drake.
What saving throw did you say?
It's a dex saving throw.
Okay. Oh, God.
15.
15? Ooh.
It's a 6.
Good thing you cast Absorb Elements. You'll take half damage.
Yeah! Woo!
Okay. And then Uroth passed, but he is going to negate his passing of the saving throw to stand in front of Cyrillus and take the brunt of the attack for her.
Oh, bless him.
Doing his job! And that is for 10d8 damage total, 5d8 fire, 5d8 poison. So for the fire, that is going to be... That's a lot of fire. That's a lot of 8s, actually.
Not the fire. Oh!
The fire damage is going to be 32 fire damage.
Okay, 32.
Which Uroth takes full, and Amaryllis takes 16.
16.
And then for the poison damage, that's also 5, and I'm rolling this on D&D on just because I have a free dice roller there. What are the odds of that? That is going to be 39 poison damage.
Oh, ow.
And Uroth hadn't got a chance to rage yet, so he took all of that.
That is so awful.
And then the dragon's eyes are going... The worm, its eyes are going to lock with yours, Amaryllis. And you're just going to hear... My father took your boy and your wife. And now I'll take the patriarch.
Getting hit with that, like, his glamour has dropped and he has burn marks all down his face.
That's
Make a fine trophy for my father's hall. And that's the Great Worm's turn. As Amaryllis is like, okay, I'm a little okay. And Uroth is just covered in blisters and boils. And now it is Cyrillis' turn. After her bodyguard just did that.
Fucker.
You piece of shit. It's vicious mockery. We know it's vicious mockery. Like,
When the real life bard plays one in D&D, it's always a good time.
you piece of shit, thinking you can come in here to my house when you don't even have the balls to stand in your father's shadow. What did Daddy decide, buddy? Did he decide that you weren't good enough? Did Mommy hurt you?
I'm gonna roll that save now. That's a 2. He fails.
He takes... Hold on. I have it. 2d4 of psychic damage.
Okay, roll 2d4.
Oh, please.
See, Jake's the real life bard who refuses to play one in D&D because it's what people expect of him.
I don't know.
I mean...
might be far enough removed from it at this point. We'll see.
Next character. I don't plan on killing Ramses yet.
5.
Okay. Is that your turn? If you have any bonus action spells, you can cast those.
I don't think I do. Not right now. Not any that I want to play right now.
Okay. Then next up is Grigor. He's going to go up and go, "You rapscallion, I will smite you in the name of my lord, and also of the Lady Varvara. Her beauty guides my blade." And he runs up, and he's gonna... His sword is gonna glow silver, and his smite is gonna look like a panther's claw. And he's gonna smite if he hits. I think that might actually still hit. It's a 9 on the die for... Yeah, it still hits. It's 15. So that is gonna be... I'm just gonna roll a d12, because it's the same thing as 2d6, right? 12, and then... He's gonna do that at 3rd level, so it's 4d8 radiant damage. Ooh, good show! That is 37 total damage. And then he's gonna swing again. Ah! There it is! He's going to roll a nat 1, and... just... You know... It's gonna be fine, but he's gonna fall on his ass. Oh, dear! I swung too fiercely with the first attack! I'll get you the second! And that's his turn. Uroth is going to stand... He kind of just like, Zorro from One Piece that, like he took all the damage standing, and he's just gonna... He's gonna grab his axe, and he's gonna... Muscles are gonna tense and get a little bigger. He's gonna rage. And then he's going to, before he attacks, look back at Cyrillis and be like, "Are you okay?" And then he's going to turn and look at the Dracizos. "You don't hurt the lady." And he's going to attack twice. That will hit. 15 pierce slashing damage. That's gonna miss. That's a 14. Clangs off the scales. And that's the NPC's turns. There will also not be a lot of combat encounters with NPC allies, so don't get used to this shit. Y'all gonna be on your lonesome most of the time, and if I do add an NPC, be concerned for their well-being.
Uh-huh.
So, Uroth and Grigor right here. Val just, nope. So next up is Krios, followed by Amaryllis, then Thea. Krios.
So Krios is definitely gonna, see the situation is unfolding. He's gonna run towards the direction of Amaryllis. Just one to check in on him because there's a whole Drake here. And just say it's Amaryllis first. My Grace, how are you? What's going on?
I can't think right now. I can't let my fear win.
Krios will nod and say, well, for this moment, don't think at all. And he will then cast Ice Knife on the Drake. I'm gonna do level 2. I'm gonna spice it up a little bit.
Ooh, getting a little frosty there.
A little frosty. To hit, it's a 16.
That hits.
Thank God. And for damage, hold on, let me make sure I'm looking at this right. Okay, we got 7 on, I think, the ice damage portion.
Might be the bludgeoning damage.
Right, for the bludgeoning damage. And then for the ice portions, 3d6. And that is 11.
Okay. Woohoo! And I
Just
will
for,
roll the save. He falls on his tum-tum. His legs just... and he falls on his tummy. This just giant, horrific creature just on his tum-tum.
I'd say for flavor, Krios would have faced this dragon and just kind of raise his hand up. Very cool, calm, collected. And the ice would have apparated around him. And he would have just done a motion like that, sending the ice at that Drake. And then we'll do a Ray of Frost for good measure.
Yeah.
And then just for above the board, do these Drakes speak Draconic?
They do.
Cool. All right, this misses. This is a 12 to hit for that Ray of Frost.
Nope. He just ducks his head.
The Krios will say in Draconic also a note I did not mention before. Krios is Draconic bloodline sorcerer, so he has white scales to kind of accentuate. I don't have makeup yet, but it's white scales that accentuate his face, and he also
Keyword
can
there
speak
is
Draconic.
yet.
But he will say to this Drake in Draconic, I had a freestyle and I just completely blank. But he'll say to this Drake in Draconic, you will not be taking the king today. And I'll end my turn.
Okay. Speaking of His Highness, Amaryllis, you're up. And then
He'll,
it's Thea's turn.
I think he's crouched a little bit, but he'll climb to his feet. Just skin and still burned and everything, and he's just gonna extend a hand. And I'm gonna cast a 5th level Mind Spike on this dragon. Reach into his mind, and when he does, he's just gonna say quietly, but in that grasp, just, your flames may burn my skin, but my heart has long been scorched, and your words are hollow. A wisdom save for me.
That's gonna be 15.
Ah, it is 15, so
Needs to be
half
saved.
damage. Half damage. Fine. But I also have the dice from the absorb element, so 20, so it'd be 10 there.
Oh, that's
5D.
that's mean. Well, no, what I'm thinking is mean. How mean am I gonna be?
That's 19 there too. So do 19 damage.
Okay. As you say that in the mind spite, he's going to use his reaction. His eyes are going to glow, and he's just going to go.
How dare you?
Let's see what she thinks. Give me a wisdom saving throw.
Ah! Come on, don't. Oh, 14.
In front of you, instead of the drake engulfed in the flames, you see your wife.
Oh,
She
yeah.
just reaches out and she just goes, "What?" And the mind spite, she holds her head and she kind of bleeds out her ear.
He would drop to his knees.
Why do you hurt me? You should join me. The flames, they're so warm. They'll keep us warm forever. Don't you want to be with me again?
My love. One day, but it will not be by dragon fire. I'm sorry. I cannot.
And that's also gonna be, that was a little spell called Mind Shatter that I have. That's gonna be 18 psychic damage.
Ouch.
Just throwing the dead wife out already.
Yeesh.
That's okay, I have things for all of you.
Jack.
Like, everyone's faces are just like, half the party's like, yeah, looking forward to it, and the other half is like, don't.
Ouch.
Listen, we
We're-
equip you with the drama. Like, I
it'll
know
be
what my
fine.
backstory says.
It'll be fine.
King looks rough, like emotionally and physically rough right now.
It's the Cindy special. Is it one of Cole's games? Cindy's character's gonna be at 4 HP the entire campaign.
Probably.
Alright, so we have Thea, then Varvara on deck, and Ramses at the tail end. Thea, you're
Awesome.
still invisible.
Correct. I am still invisible, and we're just gonna shoot this guy with an action psychic blade, bonus action psychic blade as well. So I'm gonna roll to hit twice. Let's go. Okay. I would imagine a 22 hits for one, correct?
Yeah.
And then I'm going to expend a my psychic die thingy. I'll make sure to mark it off. I cannot remember. There it is. My psychic energy die. To re-roll the second attack.
Okay.
Because it failed. It was a 2, so there's no way it was gonna.
No,
see
no
what this
twos
one
here.
is. Oh, that one's even worse. That one's a nat 1. Never mind. So I wasted.
Actually, so with that nat 1, can you re-roll your to hit real quick, please?
No. Yes. Hold on.
Did you get a nat 20?
No.
Did you get a nat 20?
No. I got the opposite of a nat 20.
got
I got
another
another
nat
nat 1.
Well, with that, that's bad.
I'm invisible. I'm invisible.
Two negatives make it a positive, so that's
So-
I'm
You
invisible.
throw-
that's just simple.
Player
That's
math.
just simple math. That's simple math.
So when you throw your second deck, I'm gonna need you to roll damage for me on that attack, please.
Somebody else is gonna get hit, aren't they?
Yep. That's
okay,
bad.
that is gonna be 8 points of psychic damage to whoever I hit.
So I rolled on the random table, and Krios, the psychic blade just like hits you in the shoulder. You take 8 points of psychic damage, like out of nowhere.
I just I'm sorry. My bad.
Chris is gonna look up and just like look at the blade, and then look around like, "What
That's
are you?
karma.
What are you doing?"
That's karma for your TikToks. That's what I'm saying. Karma for your TikToks, okay?
You know what? Fair.
Well,
I'll
he-
own that.
He also doesn't know where it's coming from.
Blade in his shoulder.
Yeah, you don't
Yeah,
see anything,
it
and
just
you're just
shows
like,
up.
what?
Because I'm invisible still, so it's even worse.
I feel like you were pretty focused on the dragon, and then all this.
The bonk.
What?
Oh. Okay, that's my turn. Yay!
You did some damage, at least.
Not where it needed to be done.
You hit the dragon.
Okay.
You hit the
It
dragon.
went through the dragon. Okay, bet. Never mind. All right, it's fine.
You hit the dragon once.
It's rude.
You're fine. You'll be fine. You're a sorcerer. Not beefy, but you'll be fine.
Well, Well, I just had everyone that in the room, and I was like, a D6, let's roll. Of course it's a 1. That's Krios.
Figure.
So now we are Varvara and then Ramses. Of course, the 2 marshals are at the 3 marshals actually in a row at the end. Just where you want your marshals in a combat encounter.
I don't know how that happened. I have advantage on initiative.
We love the bar. We love the bard going first, right? It's like when the cleric goes first, and it's like, why?
Listen, guiding bolt is top notch.
If they can hit with it, Shadow Heart.
That fair.
All right, so Varvara, what you got?
Varvara, just for your information, she's always going to have vodka somewhere around. So she's standing there, like this, seeing Grigor fall on his butt. Amaryllis speaking nonsense, seeing things. And Krios getting hit by Psychic Blade out of nowhere because there was invisible. And she's just like, well, not every day is a vodka carnival. She takes a shot, smashes the glass on the floor. She looks at her cat that's sitting on her shoulder, nods at him, and goes, "In the power of Horgos!" And she goes into her rage.
So you guys watch as her cat jumps and shapeshifts into a massive war panther with armor. And Varvara also
kind of does a flip onto her cat. I don't know if you want me to roll acrobatics.
No, we just got He-Man going right now.
This is the greatest.
She's just gonna do the flip, and as she's flipping, you're gonna hear her battle cry and go like.
And a little Xena in there too.
A little bit of Xena, a little bit of He-Man, both together, and then she lands onto her cat. That's now a panther.
Yep, and that's your bonus action.
So, that's your bonus action.
Now it's time to do your attacks.
I forgot that. Varvara is now not a 4 foot 5 inch dwarf. Now she is an 8 foot 5 inch giant. That can deal a little more damage.
She is now taller than everyone but Uroth. Because Uroth is 9 feet tall.
At this moment, she has elemental cleaver. That counts as like no action, right? It's just a additional thing I can do. Correct?
I think with your thing, that's something you can do in place of an attack.
It says when you enter your rage, you can choose one weapon that you're holding and infuse it with one of the following.
Oh yeah, you infuse it. You can infuse it with. That's right.
Yeah, so I can infuse it, and then when I hit, I get an extra damage with it,
Yeah.
right?
I feel like this is the only barbarian subclass I don't know like the back of my hand.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Whenever you were making this, and I was like, He-Man, Xena, that's a little... And I was like, you know what? It's the barbarian. Let's let them be campy. Everyone else is so dour, and like, it's like all this political... And I'm like, we need the Herbo barbarian.
Perfect. So she's going to infuse her hammer with cold damage. Let's see how that works out.
So much cold today.
And she's going to use the same attack she did before. I'm gonna roll for damage. So it's a 14 to hit.
That just misses.
Okay, I have 2 attacks though.
Yes.
Right? Okay,
And
so
remember, as a barbarian, you can always do reckless attack, which means you have advantage. However, it also means enemies have advantage on you. So you can have permanent advantage if you attack recklessly.
Okay.
That's up to you, though. I see that there's like kind of a win-win because you're resistant already, so it's like even if they do hit you, they're not going to do a lot of damage.
I have a dimension armor too, so I can't get critically hit either. So that's
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see. Let's just try without reckless attack for this one.
I like Jack's mug way better than mine.
everything just misses.
So Bavara has this huge, big moment, and then whiffs both attacks with her hammer. And Grigor from beneath it goes, "Don't worry, my dear. Next time you'll get it. I think, possibly."
Somewhere
Come on,
Wendy
guys.
feels your pain. It's fine.
Somewhere back on Rivero, Wendy's just like. Alright, so now we're at the bottom of initiative, and finally our paladin gets to go.
Can I reach our elven king here if I cross the room?
If you do, yeah. You have 30 feet of movement, correct?
Yes.
You can reach him then.
Then I will hustle my way across the room. And I will, and I think as I get like up to you, I'll position myself between you and the dragon, and like hold out my my hand, and like if you accept and take the hand, I think
He'll
your feet-
hesitate at first because he's like, "You're from Valhalla, who's his enemy," so he'll hesitate at first, but he's no place. So yeah.
As Ramses holds out his hand, oh shit, where's the? Sorry, I'm looking at my character sheet. I think you also feel his aura of courage as he approaches. You can't be frightened if you are within 10 feet of me.
Amazing. I can't.
And it like helps you to your feet and
Forward to it because I'm going to use my elemental affinity for ice magic. That +4.
Okay.
So we got 21 off rip. And then for the action, I'm going to cast another level 2 ice knife.
Okay.
Does a 23 hit?
A 23 does hit.
Let's go. Alright, and then for that damage, ooh, golly, that's 10 for the bludgeoning.
How do you want to do this?
Yeah.
It's gonna be very similar to how Krios first cast it. So after the snowballs erupt from the ground and just pelt this dragon with ice magic, Krios again is gonna summon his effectively ice knives, and he's just going to just throw that arm at that dragon, and they're gonna go directly at its face and eyes and just wreak havoc.
Okay. So you guys just watch as this thing is hit from all angles by this ice just slashing and stabbing in, and then the drake, the worm, just its body just falls, and all of you for a minute glimpse in the flames a hooded figure placing his hand on the creature before disappearing, and all of the flames go out.
Oh.
Hey Krios, can you give me a perception check real quick?
You got it. Oh boy, that's Oh hell yeah, that's a 20. That's a dirty 20, but it's a 20.
There's something in your pocket that wasn't there before.
Krios will like pat the outline of his pocket to try and like make out what it is before he just kind of goes in there, because he's gotta be very, very cautious. Like, why is this object in my pocket? But after taking a feel for it, he'll go ahead and pull it out.
It is a ring with the sigil of the dragon god Bahamut on it, with a black scar on his chest. And as you're holding that ring, a dimension door reopens, and Virilus walks through with the Emperor and the two princes. And he walks over, looks over, and he goes, "Curious." And he holds up a little ring, like a little key ring, with dozens of that ring on it. Every single one of these assassins had that same ring.
Krios will look at the ring and then look at Amaryllis with his stash of rings, and just with like a very puzzled look, and you're just like, are they giving us gifts? What is this?
I don't think that's gifts.
Care to explain how that was in your pocket?
Explain? It appeared. But you have so many, I would wonder you'd know where they come from.
We're taking them off the bodies of those assassins. Curious how you have one just magically appear in your pocket.
I will not have you question my advisor.
That's exactly why I question him, dear brother.
You also look at...
to...
Sorry, go ahead.
You need to watch your tongue.
He just looks at him and goes, all I'm saying is the evidence points that someone let these brutes in. The fire started near Krios' chambers, yet he was unharmed. And now he has one of their rings in his pocket.
I awoke to flames in my room and an open window, and an unlikely friend helped me out of said room. But you think because a magical ring appeared in my pocket makes me guilty. My friend, I cast ice and magic. We live in a world of magic. That's not evidence.
Give me a persuasion check, Krios.
Hell yeah,
Because we know you're not doing deception, so... and Verlis just goes, I was investigating their bodies and seeing to the Emperor and the princes.
That's a 15 on the persuasion check.
Tie with Verilis' deception. So now I have to let the Emperor roll insight. That's an 8. So he doesn't...
Oh, no!
But at that point, a door opens. Oh, yep. What do you want to do?
No, move on. I had my chance. Move on.
No. Go ahead.
Go.
I'd rather you do it than
I was gonna ask if I could Ramses could speak a word to possibly assist, or I don't know, somehow assist in this check.
Roll me a persuasion check of your own, and we'll see.
Ramses will just speak up and say, would be a pretty poor mastermind of this plan to keep the evidence right in his pocket and pull it out at the end of the fight. Persuasion, that's 14 also.
Then when the door opens and Count Bergles walks through, covered in blood. He's been killed, and he just... It wasn't Krios. It wasn't Lord Halakir who started this fire. It was a hooded figure casting spells. I cornered him, but he disappeared. It wasn't Halakir. I've spoken with him. He has noblest of intentions in his heart. And I think this group has proven that they are more than ready to take on the larger targets we're going to send them at. I'll have him roll persuasion too, just to be fair.
I just
God damn, that's a 16! So a 16, okay, so the Embers... This is getting us nowhere. I appreciate all your efforts. But it seems we must act quicker than intended with your assignments. Right. Well, I'm off. And he walks up to Amaryllis and Verilis, and he's... Are you two alright? Or Cyrillis? Are you alright, your majesty and my lady?
He glances over at Ramses, like, with a nod of thank you, because he probably wouldn't be. Ramses, it's like, we will be.
Just looks down at the drink and goes, sever its head, send it to the apothecaries, and whoever can make anything out of its body. What is that?
Can I, while this is going on and I'm still invisible, can I take like a scale?
Sure.
That worm
Give me a sleight of hand
Yeah.
check with advantage because you're invisible.
Yeah,
I
and
love
like anything that she knows that could be useful for her. That is going to be a 23 in total.
You take a scale a
Yeah.
little wiggly tooth, and a
Amazing.
vial of its blood.
Yeah.
And, as you were instructed, a vial of its still lingering flames.
Ooh. Got it.
And you succeed, and at that moment you hear the Emperor. Where's that Thea girl? She said she was good with potions. You could probably make something out of this.
She goes to the other side where she was while you guys are having this conversation, and so her starting position in the room, and then she drops invisibility. I'm sorry. I was sort of startled, so I figured I would be safer, invisible. There were figures, cloaked ones. But yes. What do you need?
You can go with the body and see if you can make any useful potions or poisons out of it.
Yes.
As tools for your new party of adventurers, it seems.
It would be useful to have stuff. Yes. And she'll wander back over and do the same thing she just did.
For a little funny, Grigor walks up to Varvara, he claps his head on his shoulder. You were beautiful in combat, my lady, but maybe next time you hit something. We'll work on target practice next time we're training, my dear.
Grigor,
Then he
you're so drunk.
he's
Maybe you sleep
he's got his hand on your tricep and squeeze. He's like, my word, you could use this as a hammer. I mean, anywho, let us be off to resting. Come, my lady, I'll keep you safe. As he took no damage in the fight. Neither did Barbara, so
Glittering.
he's just shining with his little silver scales everywhere, his golden scales. And
Cole, do you want me to roll another sleight of hand to do?
no, you're just able to take it now because the sleight of hand was to be
sneaky. Yeah. Okay, all right.
So Krios, nothing is out loud, and he's not even looking at you. But in your mind, Bergley says, "Good job, lad. You have 3 targets. Their heads are to be brought to me. I'll give them to you one at a time. Your first one is going to be probably the easiest." We need the long-lost prince of the Kolsar, Uroth. You have 2 weeks.
Can Krios respond?
Yeah, telepathically, yeah.
Give
Okay.
me all the names. I want all the names. Tell us the other names.
No, not yet.
God.
Krios will. Facial expressions have not changed. He's still looking at the corpse of the dragon, not looking at Papa Bergley's. Just trying to be as coy as possible. And he'll respond in mind. It will be done.
Doesn't matter how you do it. Doesn't even matter if you do it yourself. As long as he dies in the next 2 weeks, your job is done.
Fine.
I've already petitioned for him to be joining your little group for the next few assignments. Can't leave Lady Cyrillus without her bodyguard, can we?
Krios will not respond. He'll just be staring at the dragon,
Yeah.
face blank.
As he starts to walk off, the door opens and Tyros and Marcus walk in just covered in blood, and Tyros is like, "Holy shit, there was a lot of dudes down there!" Marcus is like, "Indeed, a lot of dragons. Good with the dude good decapitating as well. Not the flying kind, but drakes do just as well. Yeah, that was a little weird. Stay away from me. You're too keen on killing dragon things." And just gestures to himself. Goes, "Your Majesty!" And he hugs Amaryllis. "Are you okay?"
I was.
"Are you hurt?"
Can't breathe.
"Oh, sorry. I forget you're so squishy."
He still looks kind of rough because he just doesn't have the energy yet to.
Insult to injury, Marcus Burgleswell goes, oh, if you please, your majesty, and he offers a lay on hands.
He'll take it.
He gives you 31. No, I'm just kidding. He gives you 30 hit points.
You bastard.
And he's
I can't.
Is anyone else looking rough? Did anyone else take any?
apart from Uroth.
Well, he's with the healer.
Yeah.
He went straight to the healers, dig it.
Which could be an opportunity, you know.
Oh wait, did Kryos take some damage?
Yeah, like a tenth of my HP. He was only like 18.
You're welcome.
This is like a cut on his shoulder, but he's okay.
Just as like a show of appreciation. I forgot my own name. Ramses will walk up to Cryon, just kind of like hold out a hand to shake, and in Draconic say, "Very well struck, sir."
Krios will turn his attention away from the dragon family and meet Ramses, who obviously having to look up at this large man, will meet his handshake in like a nice firm handshake, like a real, not some like you know light dainty, but like very much a warrior's handshake.
I'm gonna give you 5 points of healing from lay on hand. Just close up that close up that psychic knife.
Appreciate it. Krios will respond to Draconic. You have my thanks. You carry yourself with honor.
Okay.
He'll give a little bow, and then go off to his people.
Tyros undoes his hug and he walks up to Krios and he does the thing that he does that always annoys Krios, puts his arm on top of his head, like, holy shit, Krios! You did that?
Tyros, can you not act surprised?
I'm not surprised. You did a good job. And thanks for keeping the king safe.
Of course. But you should thank Ramses. He's a good man, I think.
Ramses! And Tyros just walks up and pats you on the back. Good job! Slaps you on the back quite harder than he should. Just walks away. Varvara, I have a moment for you. Grigor is just going to go, my lady, I do request that you keep yourself safe over the next few assignments, please.
What do you mean, Grigor? Are you not coming with us?
I have been assigned by your father to accompany the other Draken, Tyros, in leading the faction forces of the military against the dragon armies. I will be his lieutenant. It's an honor! And I understand that that one giant man, Uroth, will be coming with you a lot, but I don't really trust any of them but you. So keep yourself safe. I would be quite put out if something were to happen to you.
Oh, that's too bad that you're leaving. I thought we'd have so much more time to train your stomach for my vodka.
I will be seeing you again soon. From what I understand, we will be coming back and forth to the capital a lot. So every time we see each other, we'll have to drink and tell stories.
I'm glad of that. But promise me that you will drink a shot every single day. So next time I see you, we can properly party.
I will do my best to train myself with Lord Tyros. He seems to be just as good at it as you. Although nowhere near as pretty. What? I didn't say that. Anyways, I'm going to bed now. Just struts off. I'm way too good at making big dumb himbos.
Golly gee. I wonder.
Just look here. I'm not dumb in real life. I'm smart in real life. But, so as this concludes, the Emperor is going to be standing in the middle of the room looking at the corpse. And he's going to see 2 ashen footprints, and he's going to pick it up, run his fingers through the ash. He's going to stand up, look at you, Amaryllis, and he's like, well, you and your squad have work to do. You'll meet me and Varillis in the morning. Go get some rest. Go see the healers. All of you get some rest and repair. Thea, you claim to be a healer. See if you can do something to help patch up that Uroth fellow.
Oh, yes. Got tea. Which sounds weird when I say it like that, but it'll help you sleep and feel revitalized for the morning.
Very well. And with that, Thea and Ramsey's last thing we'll do and then we'll let Amaryllis have a little moment with his sister. Maybe? You two walk up to your princes walk up to you both, and the crown prince, he just looks at Thea. He's got a moment of softness. He says, "Are you all right?"
She's like putting a cork on a bottle of like blood as she's like standing up. Yes. Even though, where did the two of you go? Are you all right?
We went off to fight other things and keep the Emperor safe. Mother's orders. Keep him safe. Glad you're all right. Well,
Right.
it's no surprise considering your skills, and Ramsey's here. Just kind of pats Ramsey on the shoulder. Showing the true strength of El Halon here, aren't you, boy?
It is in times like this, my lord, that we must make our allies known that they are our allies.
Jesus. I think you're above me calling you that anymore, friend.
The age gap between us is so small, my lord, it never really made sense to begin with.
Fair enough. Then Radamix just looks down at him and he just kind of smirks. Goes, "Good show." And then he looks up at Krios. Walks up. Radamix offers a handshake. He goes, "Good fighting, Halakir." From what I saw.
Krios will meet his handshake and just nod his head and say, "Thank you."
As soon as your hands clasp, you feel a familiar chill.
Oh gosh, dang.
She goes, "Who would have thought?"
Krios will look this man deeply in the eyes, like no words, but we'll just hold his glare, just like how much worse could today get?
And he just leans in and he whispers, "I should have known you would also be willing to do anything for power." I wonder who your targets are. And he leans back.
Eat it. I hate it so much.
Y'all do what y'all getting into with this campaign.
It's great.
And
Krios,
yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No. It's your moment. Go ahead.
I was gonna say Krios is gonna turn away and he's gonna look back or walk back towards the dragon, and like bring his feet very close together. He's gonna take a slight bow, and he's gonna make a prayer to Godfrey, and he's just gonna like bow his head. He's gonna bow his head, and then he's gonna turn around and return to Amaryllis.
I've been waiting for that the whole session ever since I brought that. Jake hates Godfrey, and then I was just waiting for it. And I saw it. I saw Carrie's face when I said that. Like, oh.
Does Krios still have a ring? Did he hold on to one of those? Okay.
Yeah.
As you walk away, everything just kind of fades in your mind, and you just see an image of Uroth and two other silhouettes. You can't make out their faces, but they are much smaller than Uroth. One appears somewhat feminine, but you can't really tell who they are.
I don't like it.
And then, if our two siblings would like to have a moment after the fight.
He'll go up and check on her.
And she's just got this, like, vaguely haunted in her eyes vibe to her.
Cyrillus?
Yeah. like sudden, like she's slowly coming back to the body and back to the present.
We all harbor fears.
We do. I think I'm going to spend the evening with the healers.
Go check on Uroth.
I may not trust him, Virilus pays him. But that doesn't mean I don't like him. He's pleasant enough. Virilus has hired so many bad ones. He's respectful, he's kind. There's not much more we can ask for, really.
He's willing to risk his life for you, then he has my respects.
Don't say that. And so I think she's going to cast. Oh. Can she cast Dimension Door and just go straight back to the manor house that she still has the title to that was owned by Amaryllis when she was young?
Yeah.
How dare you?
Cool. She's like, nope. We're going home. And they walk straight back into the living room.
Oh.
She whistles for Ananda, who shows up in the fireplace, like,
Oh, yes, Phoenix in the fireplace. Well, there are other places to put me, sure, but you make me sit in the fireplace.
if you would like to join us anywhere else, my love, you may. I just needed a fire in the fireplace. And you are, in fact, the fastest way to do that.
Did you pull Amaryllis with you? Is he there with you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So, Krios, you just see your king get pulled through a portal.
If he's in their old house, if that fireplace is going, he's gonna walk up. Right above the fireplace would be a giant portrait of his wife, of the family, and his wife and his son. You just stand there. Dare you?
And she's gonna go straight from the living room into where the bar is. Virilus doesn't know I still own the title. As far as he knows, this place has been abandoned for decades. Ever since Dofarin got married. She's gonna reach down into the cabinet and pull, actually dig around in these old bottles. And then she's gonna pull out a bottle of honey mead.
Good stuff.
Perfect.
She's gonna flick off the top that she put there hundreds of years ago. And she's going to hand him the bottle.
He would take the bottle, take a drink, and be like, well then, we keep it secret. A safe haven. May need it in the future.
Of course.
And real quick, we're gonna pan to Thea, who the one Prince Radamix is the second-born is off talking with Ramses, and Korgul is just kind of sitting there, breathing heavy. Looks like he might have a wound on his side, and he just.
Are you all right? Are you sure?
Just a flesh wound, love. I'll be
She'll
fine.
pull out some salve from her bag. It's not magic, but and then she'll lean down to apply it. And after she does that, she'll reach over to the body and pull off another one of the scales, and very gently and not where there's a ton of people watching, and she'll place it into the palm of his hand and close his hand around it. And in his mind, with the telekinetic link, he's gonna hear her voice remind him of it's very pretty. It reminds me of the wall in the south of the kingdom where we all used to spend the afternoon. with all of our siblings. And nobody else hears that as she sends that to him, and then she'll stand up and out loud she'll be like, is that anything else?
He just looks at it. He smirks, looks up and goes, that'll be all, Thea. For what it's worth. I apologize for earlier. Then he gets up before he can respond and walks over to his brother and Ramses. And that's where we're going to end the episode. We'll pick up next session with checking on Uralf, and then y'all getting an actual long rest, and then getting sent on your first real assignment with a big old dungeon, maybe. Who knows? And some more Battle Cat!
Look at it!
So,
I cannot.
Look at that face.
well, with that being said, everyone watching at home, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to tune in for the next episode of the Gleaming Wildfire. It's going to be a hell of a campaign. It's going to be a long one, but we're in for a wild ride. And as you can see, there's going to be a lot of drama to flow. So we'll see you all on episode 2.